You are listening to AM Thunder, the official pay-per-view review show of Kayfabe Talk Radio. And now your hosts, Eric the Red and Mr. Bones.
Alright everyone, welcome to this time on AM Thunder. I am Eric the Red, joined along with, as always,
Mr. Bonesaw.
We got way too much wrestling.
And you could be like me.
What, cram
you could be like me.
Cram like 24 hours worth into like a day?
Well, I had to cram it all on a fucking little tiny phone because I have no more internet because I'm moving to parts unknown to be closer to our good friend the Red.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, on the shoot side of things, yeah, I have to. We're moving within the next month. And there's a lot to do, and well, we kind of rushed it with, canceling our cable and internet service because we wanted to get everything set up so by the time we're out of here we don't have to deal with any of the little things, and also because it's easier to just send it back to the company. So. If you hear any kind of like audio hiccups, it's because I'm kind of doing this, secondhand. I apologize, but it is what it is.
I don't know. I mean, on my end, like I told you, it sounds better right now. I mean, a lot of it does have to do with you're not hearing the motor from the laptop, which is it's not your fault.
Yeah, I mean, I could kind of get a better setup for my laptop, or hopefully at some point I get a PC and then I can have a fucking cats. At some point I can get a new setup. Hopefully I can get a PC, have a new mic. Go out of my way. To try and make the setup a little bit easier. No, it is what it is. I'm gonna try and make things a little bit easier for the show. But at least I'm trying because WWE sure isn't.
Well, on the developmental side, I beg to differ. Oh, I beg to differ.
True.
So let's all right. So let's jump right into the NXT Philly here. Our first match of the night from Philly, of course, was the Undisputed Era of Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly defending the tag team titles and retaining against the Authors of Pain, Akam and Razor.
Which recalled. Yeah. Which recalled.
Mm-hmm.
No, we knew that going in, obviously, Authors of Pain are going to probably be moved either to Raw. Where do you think they're going to go? Raw?
You know what? I do think it's weird because SmackDown has a lot of tag teams. And Raw has too many, tag teams where it's like, oh, we got all these guys that are going to just come out there and beat people up. And what I mean is, like, you have Gallows and Anderson who are essentially like that. You have Cesaro and Sheamus who are like that. You have the Revival. And it's like, do we need a fourth team where it's like, oh, we're just going to come in and beat people up? Where on SmackDown, I mean, yeah, you have the Bludgeon Brothers, but also, too, to have them go against Breezango, to go against the Ascension, to go against the New Day, it's a little one-sided.
But the problem that I see is they could easily have remedied it, like by doing what New Japan and a lot of other companies do, have divisions instead of having, like I know they can't call it the junior tag team and a heavyweight tag team because obviously for whatever reason. But I mean, technically they could call it heavyweight tag titles, and then they could have had the cruiserweight tag titles or whatever the hell they want to call it.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, like you said, the majority of the bigger guys are on Raw, and like the smaller, like more athletic guys are on SmackDown.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily bigger. I'm just saying, like, as far as the gimmick goes.
No, I mean, for the most part, the bigger guys are on Raw. The Bar, the Balor Club,
Yeah.
even the smallest tag team are. I mean, the only real people you can say is maybe Rollins and Jason Jordan, but I don't even think they're going to be a tag team in the next couple of weeks anyway. Because after that match, oh god, that was a bad match.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, as of right now, maybe the Alters would go to I guess if I'm gonna pick one. Since it feels like Raw has everybody, I guess SmackDown.
I just think if they're gonna do all Haas tag teams, they might as well go full on, and instead of because it's weird because they have these two tag team titles, but like the divisions in each show are so much different. Like you see the more athletic matches on SmackDown, whereas you see like the big Haas showdowns in Raw, and it kind of even goes towards like if you see the difference between Raw and SmackDown, it's like the same goes for like the current title situation too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Because you look at, like, for the main titles, you look at, like, AJ, who is your technical, hybrid, high flyer guy, whereas Bork is pretty much, your bruiser. He's your brawler type of guy. But yeah, I don't know. I personally, my dream angle was to have AOP team with Roman, turn Roman heel, get him that belt. I mean, who knows? They could probably hold him off till Chamber, get Roman in the Chamber, and then they like come out and attack Braun, make Braun and Roman the last two, and then they pretty much go full on heel with him, Braun, uber babyface.
The thing is, they kind of missed the boat because, personally, and this is just a stupid Mark, coming up with his own idea what they should have done. I would have had AOP basically beat the shit out of. Well, they can't do it now because Dean Ambrose is gone, and I don't think they're gonna have. They're not marching out Jason Jordan in the fucking Shield gear.
Oh god.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, like picture when Kurt Angle did that, but like much worse.
Yeah, it would be pretty. That you're basically saying to me, hey, let's put let's fuse together Darren Young with Maven and put a Shield outfit on them.
Jesus Christ.
Granted, Jordan's a way better worker, but
he's a way better worker.
As a personality, oh my god, is he terrible? I mean, but anyway,
it's what they've been giving him to, deal with, and what the writers have saddled him with. It's not all him. It's just come on, like anyone can look at people that were so talented in NXT, and as soon as they got to the main roster, it was like, oh, hey, we're gonna saddle you with really bad gimmicks, really bad storytelling. Hey, Bailey, you were so over in NXT. Everyone loved you. You're the basic, like, anytime someone has like a really over baby, like a baby face that no one can stand, we're gonna get you over with a gimmick that made The Rock reviled when he first joined WWE. We're gonna make you a smiley, happy babyface and get you over in NXT. But as soon as you get to the main roster, oh no, you're just an idiot now. Like, we're gonna bury you and make you look like an idiot for weeks on end, and destroy your character, even though you were over. It's what they do. It's what they do.
I highly recommend everyone, if you haven't seen it, check out What Culture's it's like a parody. I guess it's called like what Vince McMahon thinks of the Raw roster or whatever the fuck. And like the thoughts are like tremendous. Like, the guy is a British guy, he can't really impersonate Vince, but like when they get to Bailey, he's just like, oh, lovable babyface, super over the crowd, macro retarded. Yeah, it's basically what it is. But so what's your thoughts on AOP versus Red Dragon here? Good match, bad match.
I thought it was good. I honestly thought the majority of because it was slower. It was a slower, more methodical match. Yeah. There was a lot of good submission holds, and it made sense. It wasn't a situation where they have two guys. Like, it wasn't a Rey Mysterio versus like Brock Lesnar type match where it's like, I can't see him ever beating. I can never see him beating him. It's a situation where it's like, okay, they're bigger guys, but the edge is they're MMA guys, so they know how to use their weight, in putting people in submissions and cutting off air, doing damage to limbs. They might be bigger, but we're it's one of those things where it's like, oh, they're bigger, but we're nastier, and
smarter too. Smarter and full more experience.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a situation where I was watching the match and I was like, okay, that makes sense. If it's a smaller guy, obviously, and who has MMA experience, it would kind of look like that. And it's like, if you look at matches like in early UFC when it wasn't weight restricted, you saw a lot of matches like that where people were getting put into like rear naked chokes and triangle, because all you really need is a little bit of leverage, and they're not going to be able to get out of it. They might be physically stronger than you and much bigger, but if you put them in a submission hold, they'll tap all the same. And it's not like, and the thing is, it's funny to me because, and you've been saying this for a while, it's like Adam Cole looks so much smaller than the guys that are supposed to be his underlings. And it's like these two guys are like pretty, like, they're not huge, but they're like pretty well developed, and the musculature they don't look like they're like weak, scrawny guys. Like we've made the comment about like Zack Sabre Jr. is supposed to be a submission master, but he's like this like kind of olive oil, dangly, kind of like gawky guy, and it's like hard to imagine him putting somebody into like a really strong submission hold. These two guys, I buy it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter like how short Kyle O'Reilly is. I mean, the fact that like he has enough muscle mass on him to where it's like, okay, he looks like he could kick the shit out of you. It's like people forget sometimes, like, you see someone that's a little smaller, because of the fact that they're smaller, they learn how to kick your ass a lot better. And they're a lot faster, too.
It's also not like Chris Benoit, like you had situations where like guys were like 5'9", 5'10". They have a little bit of body mass on them. They can be stocky, but they can still be incredibly strong and able to put you in a good submission hold. And that's what you saw here. And then the end, I loved the whole thing where it's like they kept selling that it was who was the one that was injured? It was Razor, right?
Yeah.
Razor, he got hurt early on. Like I think it was the leg. They kept saying it was the knee, and then when they went to do the Super Collider, his knee buckled, and that set up the roll up.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That was a fantastic. That's a good fucking finish. Like that's a finish I can understand. That's because it's like it's not like just a regular O'Connor roll where I just got the guy, but I got his trunks. No, the guy was fucking hurt. The guy fucked up his finisher and knocked out his partner, and he's still fucking dazed because he got like cracked in the head like with some pretty fucking vicious knees early on. His leg is fucked up, so it can't get the leverage to kick out. That actually makes sense. Like I thought that finish was as good as you can get in a tag team match. Obviously, it's not perfect, but I thought for two guys that were supposed to be monsters, that's how you have them lose without them losing steam going forward into the main roster, and at the same time you make the guys that have the championships look like wily veterans that
right.
they can win no matter what.
Right. I mean, in this match, I thought that like there were certain spots that AOP were tripping over themselves a little bit. They were a little sloppy, but it's not like it wasn't like a big deal. It wasn't like they were. I don't know. It's just like it was just a slower pace than what I would have expected because AOP is capable of doing like quick matches, but this like I said,
Where did you see that they were? I didn't notice it. Probably as I was just like going through.
There was one spot. There was one spot. I had to go back and watch it where I forget who the fuck mentioned it, but I was listening to one NXT takeover review, and someone was like, "Oh yeah, one of the guys, one of the AOP guys, were clubbing like Bobby Fish way too hard, like not like try to start shit, just like hard, like just being clumsy." And there was one spot where I think it was Razor. Or it was I think it was Akam, but it was one of the fucking guys. But they have like Bobby Fish, and they're just like throwing punches, and he's actually hitting the fucking guy, and it's like, kiddo, relax. It's a work.
I mean, but it also could have been a situation there where like they egged them on. Because sometimes you get a guy and it's like, oh yeah, hit me physically.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it'll sound like I'm gonna contradict myself when we talk about the Rumble pay-per-view, but I'm not. In this one, it was like, okay, I think the AOP were a little, I don't know, I was mistaking it more for, these guys were a little rough around the edges, but for the most part, it was a fun match. The finish, at first, I was like, wow, that's, on a roll-up, but it made sense. It wasn't like they could pick them up and, like, do, like, a finish. That would look even hulkier.
I thought it was good. Like, he fucked up. He's still dazed and hurt. They were selling the knee for, like, the entirety of the match, so... I saw it. I thought it looked good. I thought both teams looked good. Where it wasn't like, he just took a finisher and he it's not like something hokey like that. I could, you know what? I could have also seen a submission, but I don't know. It makes them look in a way. It makes them look better. It doesn't hurt them when they go up to the main roster because it's a fucking roll up. How many people have been pinned on a roll up because they weren't weren't paying attention or it's happened to literally everybody. It's basically other than like another tag team coming in and like making the save for Undisputed, you're that's as clean a victory for them without overall hurting AOP down the long run. So I had no problem with it.
The roll-up nowadays is the most protected finish. Until
they kick out it too.
Yeah. Now, next up we got the Velveteen Dream in his boxing outfit versus Cassius Ohno, the knockout artist.
Jesus Christ, he's so good. He is so fucking smooth, man.
And it's scary how young he is already. Like how young he still is. Like he's only 22 so far, and he's that polished.
He's gotten so good in the amount of time he's been wrestling. Like he looks like a veteran that's been wrestling on the indies for like years.
Yeah, and he's not even in the business for 3.5 years. He's still in there a little over 3 years.
You know how they say like certain people are prodigies, like in certain aspects, like they're musical or sports prodigy. This guy is basically a fucking wrestling prodigy. How quickly he's gotten himself over, how quickly he's gotten to the point where nearly everything he does is fucking like. I mean, there's certain points, but I would say it's more on Cassius Ohno. So there was a couple times during like I would have said like remember the one spot I think it was the I'm pretty sure it was the Death Valley Driver.
Oh yeah,
that was
a
little sloppy.
I immediately just like went, "Aw." Like, most people are like, you fucked up. I'm just like, aw. Because I know I'm a little biased, but I don't like seeing two guys I like botch.
Well, you know what? But I don't see that as so much of a botch for... I know this is going to be kind of hurtful, but yeah, Chris Hero needs to go on a fucking diet. And if you're gonna do a fucking Death Valley Driver, and especially I know Velveteen is strong, but yeah, that motherfucker's fat as fuck.
I know. I'm a Chris Hero apologist, and it may come off a lot of times as I'm super biased. However, you do have guys in WWE that are like for instance, a lot of the AOP guys. Those guys are, anywhere between like 300 to 350. Cassius is only like 265, 270. So, does that mean that he should be walking around like that? No, but it's not to say that you don't have bigger guys than him. I don't know. It's like, I don't personally see, for him, okay, for his sake, yes, he should lose weight. But people do act like, oh, this guy's gigantic. Mm-hmm. Have you seen a lot of the guys that are in WWE in the past? He looks like a cruiserweight compared to a guy like fucking King Kong Bundy. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but his whole thing is he's supposed to be this, like, athletic striker. He's wearing a fucking, like, football.
I do have a problem with his outfit.
No, he wears a fucking basketball jersey so you don't see his man tits.
I do have a problem with his outfit. But another thing too, they posted like a 9-minute clip of him on YouTube talking about like his life or whatever. I swear to God, I want you to watch it. I want people that know me to watch it, because like when you watch this guy, you're like, holy shit, are you and him the same? Because like he has like books of like wrestlers or whatever, and he's like, oh, and he has everything like marked off, whatever. He's like, oh, like these are the guys I met, and these are the cards I got to see, and like he can name you like the history of matches from like the 60s and 70s or whatever, and he could name like.
Are you telling me you're the reason you like Chris Hero is because you can live vicariously through him?
I guess so. I mean, now I know why when I met him, like me and him got like really along, where it was like we, like he like most guys that you talk to, you know, it's mostly got to be like, hey man, huge fan, whatever. Tell Hero like, hey man, huge fan, whatever. And he's like, oh cool man. He's like, well, you know, what's some of your favorite work, or what's your favorite promotion? Like he's just kind of like he wants to strike a conversation with you.
That's the thing with a lot of these guys. It's like sometimes they want to know, like sometimes they're as much fans of the overall product as we are, and sometimes they just don't give a fuck. Like you can tell when people are just like either burnt out or they don't give a fuck anymore, and they don't care about the overall product. They just want to make money. And when you meet somebody when you meet a wrestler who's who's a fan of the product, is constantly watching the old stuff, constantly watching the new stuff, you know you have a guy who really loves the business. And I don't know, you see that, and then you like a lot of the people that are in WWE, they just come off like they don't give a fuck. It's just a paycheck, you know, and they're burnt out of wrestling. And it's good. It's good it's good that he's. You know, I kind of hope he does stay there. I think Chris Hero is a good wrestler. I've seen some of his indie work. Eric has like recommended it. I think he'd be better off just drop the weight, dude. You're so much better a fucking worker. And like it's not like I want him to race up to the the main card, but at least have a a good match. I don't want to see him in fucking I don't want to see him in Raw, SmackDown.
All right, you know what?
You know he'd be a fucking laugh stock.
You know, in my mind, when I think of that, I don't think like full time. I mean, like bring him in the Rumble, bring him in like an Andre the Giant or a Royal Rumble appearance. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, it would be cool. I think he's better off in a situation where he's like kind of like a Brian Kendrick, where he's like if he does go up, he's just putting over like some of the newer guys, like how he's doing what he's doing now in NXT. Because I think with all the knowledge he has, I mean, also this would be cool. Like, let's say something. The only time I would say like if they wanted to bring him up, he really needs to lose the fucking weight, because from what I've heard, I think Sheamus is kind of on his way out, because I think he has the spinal stenosis, so I think he's going to be on his way out in the next like year or two.
Yeah,
so
they give him a
it would be fucking fantastic if Chris Hero could lose the fucking weight and tag team with Cesaro again.
I wish. I mean, but you know, now I think about it, you're right, because this is what the moment of clarity comes with this. Just thinking to myself, what would Vince say when he saw him? What is this guy? Why is he? He's dressed in all white. Why does he look like a tub of mayonnaise?
Oh man!
I love Chris Hero.
We love.
I could see Vince saying that.
It's just he real like we're saying it not because we're being assholes. It's just because he does. Like we're both big, we're both fat, but if we were wrestlers, we'd have to get into shape because you're not, unless you're Kevin fucking Owens, you're not gonna get anywhere. And even Kevin Owens is really not that. Like maybe it's because of the ring gear. He
has a little bit of a dad belly. That's it. It's not like, all right, like, okay, for instance, I always did think though, like, if he's gonna be this big, Cassius, he should be wearing something more than fucking trunks, because the fact that you do see cellulite is like, come on, dude. Like, wear pants, wear shorts, something, like, we don't really need to see that.
No, I mean, well, all the guys that were ever big, yeah, like you said, like they never wore like anything really revealing. It was like always like you see Mick Foley, he always wore like either like sweatpants or like a full on pants, or like, and he had like either a baggy either a baggy button-down shirt or a like flannel. He always wore stuff that accentuated his own body type. It didn't.
Right.
It wasn't. It was everything he wore was basically a necessity. It wasn't him just like, oh, I'm gonna wear a basketball. Like it's like you're wearing a basketball jersey and like and trunks. It's like you're like I'd understand. Like I think I would personally think he should lose the weight, because I think he is a better wrestler. I think he could get over if he did. But if he's not, wear something that's more, like again, we're not trying to fat shame the guy. It's like he should just wear something that is, more comfortable for the audience to see him in if he's going to be wrestling.
I said, it's like you have had bigger guys in the past, but just wear something that kind of hides that a little bit. Like, okay, for instance, a good example, when Viscera, he I know he had that point where he was Big Daddy V and he had the fucking just the straps, and it was grotesque, but it was his gimmick. It was a gimmick that he was given for that. But he was wearing a full fucking bodysuit. Bam Bam Bigelow were alright, actually better work, way better fucking worker than most of the big guys. Wore a fucking full bodysuit. Now I'm not saying okay, you send Cassius Ohno in a fucking Nia Jax space costume. I'm just saying, wear some fucking wear fucking pleather shorts or some bullshit with like a fucking tank top that says Cassius Ohno on it, or Knockout Artist. That's all I'm saying. And then your fucking kick pads. I'm not saying, send them out there in a full fucking costume, because that could be a death sentence too. If you think to yourself, okay, I'm more intimidating with the weight on me. All right, whatever. That's your fucking opinion. Then wear something more flattering to, like Pat said, the viewer, or in this case, Vince McMahon. Because the last thing you need is for Vince McMahon to be like, get him off my TV.
Yeah, but what he looks like? He just looks like, like when there's like kids, like there's fat kids that like wear the freaking like basketball jersey, and they go out to the pool because they're like wearing a basketball jersey or a shirt because they don't want to like see their body, like have anybody see their bodies when they go in the pool. That's what he reminds me of. Like that's what he reminds me of whenever I see, and that's sad because it's like I don't know, like give him something a little bit more flat because it's like it's a basketball jersey. It looks like he looks like a little fat kid that's playing basketball on like in the like the like fat kid in like a junior division when they play basketball when they're like 12.
Yeah.
Like it looks like that. It looks like that. He's like one of those like little fat kids that just made the basketball team because his parent like lobbied the school because they had to take him. You know, he doesn't look like a badass. It's like there's no like kick pads or it looks bad. It looks bad. There's like no kick pads. There's no like make him look like a fucking martial artist.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, right now it's like, oh my God, if he hears this, he's gonna kill me. You know what? I'm actually, I don't know if I should say this. You know what? I'll type it so you can say it.
Yeah, that's gonna be much better.
Nah, fuck it. I'll just say it. You gotta kind of. All right, in our opinion, ultimately, and then we'll move on to the match. He's gotta look. We recommend maybe lose the weight. I say the guy is almost 40. It's not good for the heart. You know, like the bigger you get, the more it's gonna hurt you. And it's like he's one of my favorite wrestlers from that time of the Indies. It's like I want to see this guy fucking do well, lose the weight. Have a redemption story. Get on the main roster. Do something with Cesaro. You got a good chance now that Sheamus could be on his way out. You know, and come out there looking like an ass kicker. Not, I'm sorry, Chris. The truffle shuffle. You know? I'm sorry.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh no.
I say that with love.
You just said that your hero looks like a fucking looks like the fat kid from the Goonies.
I mean, it sucks, but it sucks. It does. He kind of does. Hey man, one of your heroes fucking dresses up as Santa Claus 365 days a year.
Yeah, but he played Mankind. You can actually fucking kind of see Mankind like doing shit like that.
Yeah.
Your hero likes heroes too much.
And with that said, some of the strong points of the match, a lot of it really had to do with Velveteen's fucking the way he just carries himself in the ring, like we said. I
love everything he does, like just the little things.
I love that he could take a move like the fucking axe handle, do it in the style of Macho Man, and then get the crowd fucking pop. Just let's think of that for a second. The guy's doing basically everything from the 80s, and people are popping for it in the crowd.
Well, it shows how, because the problem is the showmanship is gone. The little things, the little actions, the little movements, they're all gone from the 80s because everybody thinks, oh, we got to do, 450 splash, but we bring nothing to it. So it's just like there's no little flourishes. It's the same reason people in the indies get as over as they do is because they need to bring some personality to their movements. Like why Cody's such a good heel outside of WWE is because of all the little things he does, like all the facial expressions and the posture and all those things. And this is why Velveteen is getting over. It's because he does that. He has the personality. He comes in like fucking spray painted shorts that says "dream over," and he comes in like he's like, and he even said he was like, going around looking like Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray, Sugar Ray Leonard, and he's putting in the freaking mouth guard because like a boxing match, and he does all this like all these little things, and just like the character works. It's just like I'm scared though for this character because I feel like as good a character as it is, very easily this can turn into another Tyler Breeze type situation.
Well, here's the one thing I'll say about the Tyler Breeze thing. That character with Tyler Breeze, even in NXT, it had a glass ceiling. Because there was only so far he could have went walking around with a selfie stick, as well as that accent. You know what I mean? Like, in NXT, I feel like he had a little bit, not a low ceiling, not like he did in the main roster, but like I never saw him being capable to being the world champion down there, NXT champion. Velveteen, yes, absolutely, I see him being a future fucking NXT champion. I don't know, it's just the guy carries himself a lot differently. He's a bigger guy than Tyler Breeze is. He has a different thing about him, but the main thing is the guy could fucking adapt. The guy could just grow as a character, as an athlete.
He just what he reminds me of though is like he's so much about him is he's taken so many different little pieces from every, and you said it. You said it best. He exudes the '80s with his style is like when you look at him, he's this guy who's like. His physique and his ring attire screams Rick Rude. His personality and his personality is close, kind of like a weird amalgamation of like Prince meets Goldust, and then you have his work style is like a weird mishmash of like, man, it's like certain things he does. It's like, you got like old, like Sting and Macho Man and Ricky Steamboat. Like there's certain movements and his in-ring ability. It's like he can see little bits and pieces of these different wrestlers with his ring style. So it's like he took everything. Like you can tell he watches everything, and he takes bits and pieces. But it's not like a full on like like that. That's the worst failures are when they try to completely copy a wrestler. The only time I think they've ever anytime anyone's ever succeeded in completely copying somebody was Jay Lethal when he copied Macho Man. Other than that, I most of the time when you completely copy somebody, it never works. I think he does enough that's a homage rather than a direct copy.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's almost like, what the fuck? Like, okay, when I was talking about Tyler Breeze, he was too much to me. Although he had a lot of, like, his own thing going, he did remind me a lot of Rick Martel. He reminded me a lot of early Shawn Michaels. And it's like, that was cool. But he was wrestling too much of the style of, like, Shawn Michaels in the ring of Christian. And it's like, we already have a guy like Dolph Ziggler that people on and off fucking forget to care about. So it's like, in the ring, at least you got a guy like Velveteen where he comes out there and it's like, okay, I'm going to give you shades of Macho, going to give you shades of Steamboat, going to give you shades of Sting, going to give you a little Rick Rude here and there. And it's like, okay, it's like you took a guy who, he's 22, he barely fucking remembers the 80s. I mean, like you and I are like fucking. We're not even near 30 yet, and we weren't even fucking around. Like our earliest memory of fucking wrestling was like the late 90s or whatever. And same goes for this guy, but he took it upon himself to watch old tapes, and I think that's what is helping him more. What helps guys more is when you could tell that they watched and were influenced by old school, not just the 2000s and the 90s. Like, you really do have to watch like the 80s to really grasp, and somewhat of the 70s wrestling, to really get a good feel of what will work. Because you know what? Because we're at a culture now in wrestling where it's like too many people did fucking watch. Way too many people now watch the Attitude Era. So it's like everyone's kind of desensitized to the way the characters were. So it's like if you could take shades of what the 80s were, by all means, it's gonna fucking work. Especially in a PG environment.
That's the thing. That's the thing, like you just said. Too many people try to base their gimmicks and everything off of what they saw in the Attitude Era, and they don't go back to like the new era. They don't go back to because that's where the Young Bucks work. Because you have, they're not directly copying. Like they do take like the DX chops and the Too Sweet. But if you really, really look at them, majority of what they do and how they look is like it's based off of the new era, like the early 90s and the late 80s. Just their ring attire screams of that. And it's like wrestlers have to realize, like there's other eras that they can choose from. There's not everything, lives and dies in the Attitude Era. You have a whole bunch of different eras of wrestling. I mean,
yep.
You did see that. You know what the thing is? If you go too far back, then people are like, "Oh, we don't get it," and that's the problem. That's the problem that happened with the vaudevillains. We don't get it.
Yeah. Well, you know what, too? Now I remember, it's funny you say that. I know it sounds like I'm targeting Tyler Breeze a lot in this, but, like, I remember he was also doing a lot more Gorgeous George, if anything, too. And that's where, like, Vince looked at it, of all people, and went, I don't get it. But all he did was take fucking Gorgeous George, mix him with Rick Martel and a little Shawn Michaels, and Vince is like, I don't get it. But even then, when he debuted on the main roster, and they feud him right away with the guy that looks like him, Dolph Ziggler, people didn't latch on to him. When he was NXT, people loved the guy. But when he was down, when he got called up, people didn't get it. They didn't understand. And a lot of it had to do was he was doing a lot of mannerisms of Gorgeous George from the fucking 60s. And it's like, it doesn't matter if, like, a few people get it. You need the general consensus to get it. You need, you can't have, like, 3 or 4 people go, oh, yeah, and the rest of the people going, huh, who, what? Because the people that are going, huh, who, what, are the ones, most likely, they're going to be paying your ticket.
That's sad, though. It's like, we've created an economy for wrestling that is based on the casual fan. We really need to go into these pay-per-views.
Yeah.
We're bullshitting too much.
Yeah, we're bullshitting. But anyway,
it's sad though. It's sad.
Oh no, it is. But anyway, let's fly through this. Ember Moon versus Baszler. Quick match, but you know what?
I liked it.
Quick match, but it needed to be. That's fine. It'll tell a story for the rematch.
I thought it was really good selling. Really good selling. Good heel work.
A+ on the selling from Ember Moon. I get, like, some people aren't all on board with her. I love Ember Moon. She's a great fucking worker. You know, the selling is tremendous. I think she's really fucking cute too. Like when she was doing the Eclipse and she like couldn't cover her, I thought it was tremendous because, you know, honestly, yes, I know she could have crawled, but at the end of the day, you kind of the angling she was at, it was her arm that was fucked up. And I know people are gonna go, oh well, she was okay to be in the Rumble the next day. Yeah, heavily fucking bandaged, going out there holding that arm that whole fucking time.
Yeah, oh yeah, I love that. That was fucking amazing. The same thing happened with that. I love the story they were telling. The only person that didn't look hurt was Cien Elmos, but everyone else from the NXT roster that was in a match prior was like bandaged up. When Adam Cole came out, his ribs were all damaged. He had the wraps around him. So yeah, I thought that was a really cool touch.
I gotta bring up something about Adam Cole when we talk about the Rumble match. It's something Joey said on the Soup review. It's just too funny to not fucking share. I'll say it when we get into the Rumble. It's just way too funny. But anyway, Ember Moon, tremendous fucking selling job. Moro really got Shayna over as a fucking badass. From the promo department, Shayna definitely does have, like, her promos don't need to be flashy, but her voice, she does sound like she's like 17 years old.
You know what she sounds like? She sounds like Nelson Muntz. She sounds, I swear to God, she sounds like Nelson Muntz. Like, I just kept picturing her gonna go, ha ha!
Well, I mean, she kind of makes fucking faces like that too, you know. I don't know. The thing that works about her is she's an ugly girl. She's an ugly fucking chick, and she comes out there, total fucking killer. And you know what? And that's what they need. They need girls that if they're gonna be killers, they need to be a little homely looking.
She's not hideous.
I'm not saying hideous. I'm just saying she's not like, okay.
She's not dolled up to look attractive. She's not like one of these other women that are like, well, I'm a badass and I'm an ass kicker. But you're gonna pose in Maxim like next week. Like this chick is not posing in a Playboy or a Maxim. Like you can actually picture her being a fucking killer. Like how Chyna was when she first like joined the roster. Like no one found her like particularly like good looking or like like sexually appealing, and later on they try to doll her up, but like I understand what you're saying. It's like she has to have this like intense like she's not fat bait. She's an actual like
for WWE to come as far as they did now, where it's like, okay, we're gonna bring a girl in that doesn't have, in WWE land's mind, that doesn't have the Playboy model look, that she looks like a plain girl that's a little roughed up, a little rough around the edges, and she's a fucking killer. And it's like, that's a fucking step above. That's a fucking improvement from the Kelly Kellys and the fucking Eva Maries and all of them. So it's like, I'm really happy that they have a girl like her. Now, I did think she was gonna get the title. I am surprised Ember got it. I'm happy. As a fan of Ember's, I'm happy.
They want to keep the belt on her because then where do they go next?
I'd like to see... Yeah, I know. And it's like... I did think of this too. It's like... I would like to see her hold it for a few more takeovers. And on for on too. with the way the girls get treated on the main roster and the guys get treated on the main roster, there's no rush. There's no rush for call-ups anytime soon.
It's gonna. They just sent like 6 women up onto the main roster. I think they're good for now.
Well, really 5 because Paige was already on the main roster.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Paige is done now too. So.
Right. Yeah. But
yeah,
what
do you think they're gonna do with her? They're gonna just have her as like a manager?
She's a mouthpiece. You know, I will say she should have did. You know, and again, I'll talk about it a little more later. I will just say, Paige maybe should have been out there ringside in the Rumble.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I still feel bad for her that she should have been in that match.
Yeah, I know, but all right, but we got 2 more matches here, and then we're gonna move on to the Rumble. Next up, we got an Extreme Rules match that did not fucking disappoint at all. I had a lot of. This was the one I think I was looking forward to the most outside of Baszler and Ember. Aleister Black versus Adam Cole. Very fucking good. This was how you do a hardcore match in Philly in 2018 WWE. Did it need thumbtacks? Did it need barbed wire? Nah, it really didn't. It didn't need it at all.
There was just as much blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're actually. I don't understand how that happens because like you watch mainline WWE and they do like basic like chair spots and table spots, and it's like you watch that and there's never any blood, but then you watch NXT and it's like, oh, we're just gonna do a basic table spot. Oh, there's a bunch of blood here. What the fuck is up with that?
To quote my dad, I'll say this I can't avoid this. To quote my dad, this is the epitome of a WWE street fight match. When we were at SmackDown in December, and like they're like, oh, it's Bobby Roode versus Baron Corbin in a street fight. My dad goes really loud. Yeah. You mean to tell me we gotta sit through 205 just to watch a kendo stick, a chair shot, and 1 table spot? and we're sitting around like a bunch of like guys like you and I are like ages of like you and I and like maybe a little older, and like they just chuckle. And then that's why we decided to stay because that's exactly what they did. They did a kendo stick, a chair shot, and to the back, of course, and then a table spot. And my dad was like, "Yep, I was right."
Oh my god!
And then of course, you look at a match like this with Aleister and Adam Cole, you're like, okay, this is exactly why I was in the right for having my fucking hopes up, because I know in NXT land, it's totally different. The boundary's a lot different here. And they were gonna excel beyond expectations. They were gonna take things like, I'm not asking for a lot in a fucking hardcore match. Give me, all it ever is now is a kendo stick, a chair, and a table. Give me a fucking trash can. Give me, I know it wasn't in the match, but give me a stop sign every now and then, Give me more than just 3 fucking things. I'm not asking for fucking thumbtacks, barbed wire, whatever the fuck.
The cheese grater.
Or in what TNA just used, in their barbed wire massacre match, fucking shish kebab skewers. I'm not asking. No, they legit did.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
They went full FMW CZW. They took fucking it was LAX against OVE, Ohio versus everything, and they took fucking shish kebab skewers and put in and just planted them in one of the guys' heads.
Oh God.
And they couldn't even put it on TV. They had to put it on Twitch.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it wasn't. And you know the funny part is, this takeover match here had more blood than that did. Tell me how that makes sense.
Yeah, his hand got like fuck. I don't know what the fuck happened. His hand was like.
It looked like Alistair's Black looked like Alistair Black's back. Ugh. Try saying that fast 5 times. His back was gushed open. So
his back was gushed open at a certain point. When I think it was like right after the trash can spot. You had Cole's back was fucking gushed open. His hand was bleeding. I was like, but in WWE, whenever you see like a basic like table spot, like no one ever bleeds, and in this, it's like there's fucking tons of blood. Like, I was like, what the fuck? I mean, obviously, you know what broke immersion was the fact that they like they had like people that are like, oh my god, he's bleeding. Let's fucking clean it up now. So it's like that kind of broke immersion a little bit.
Yeah,
like because obviously me and you saw, it's like as soon as he started bleeding, like the referee's like, I gotta put on my safety gloves.
That's every fucking company now, though, dude. Every company does that. Even Tommy Dreamer's company does that now. House of Hardcore.
I guess because of the insurance shit.
I blame superstar Billy Graham and that guy Devin Nicholson. I'll just blame them just for shits and giggles. Not in all seriousness, it's definitely an insurance thing. It's definitely it definitely is. It does have to do with the fact that
I blame John Laurinaitis. He always gave The Undertaker Hep C.
I remember.
Oh.
Yeah, but anyway, I liked the inclusion of the rest of the Undisputed Era coming out there, and then what the fuck, Sanity, and Killing Dane diving over the fucking ropes.
That was fantastic. I love that. I love how they kind of like they did the. It's kind of a little bit, not fully, but I mean they kind of did like the whole they're gonna interfere and fuck them spot, and then they had like the save, which was fantastic. It wasn't like it was overbooked, because it's like that could have been an overbooked clusterfuck if that was in WWE. Everybody would have came out, and Aleister would have been knocked out, and then they would have knocked out Adam Cole, and then put Aleister over on top of him, and that would have it would have looked like a fucking shit show. Thankfully they didn't do that.
Well, you know what though? One thing I also like, I like how NXT snuck in chair shots to the head. Not by a direct chair shot to the head. What I mean is, Adam Cole's setting the chair up, and he has it standing up, and then boom, fucking Aleister comes in with a fucking shining wizard.
Oh my god! Yeah,
that, and then not to mention the fucking spot of the match. In a lot of people's opinion, where the part where we thought where Adam Cole died, which was, you already know what I'm talking about. The fucking Death Valley driver on the 2 chairs, spine first.
Oh god. Oh, one of the first spots in the match was fantastic. The moonsault into the kendo stick.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, because you heard the fucking thwack off of Aleister Black when he did the moonsault, and Adam just like fucking like did like a baseball swing right into the fucking chest.
Yeah.
Oh, that had to hurt like a motherfucker.
As predictable as it was, I did enjoy the when Alistair caught the chair and he did the switching music into the two tables. That was cool too. I don't know. There really wasn't much about this match I didn't like. This was definitely one of those fucking hardcore matches that, you know, I would go back and watch again.
You know what? As much as I gave them shit for making Alistair look stupid in that tag match,
they redeemed themselves. They fucking
they redeemed themselves.
And Morrow, God bless Morrow. You know, him saying, "Oh, this would be if Adam Cole could knock off Aleister Black. This would be his first singles loss. He did lose. He did get pinned by Johnny Gargano, but it was the help of the Undisputed Era." So it's, and then not to mention he had suffered damage from Killian Dane and Lars Sullivan. So it's like they gave him a fucking reason. The reason why he lost and got pinned by a skinny guy like Johnny Gargano is not because Johnny Gargano got the better of him. Johnny Gargano pinned him because everyone else beat the fuck out of a guy that's a guy got his shit kicked in, and he's only human. So God bless Morrow. That's what shit like that is what I've been saying for a long time. It's like, if there's problems you have with the wrestling, let the fucking commentary be apologist for it and fucking tell a story around it.
It's like you're gonna have the good commentary now, but later you're gonna have the really bad one.
Oh God! All right. Here's why I don't know. Here's why I think we might just wind up doing KTR. Within AM Thunder, because dude, I have to go into a Stephanie rant. I really do.
Even before that.
No, don't get me started. Let's focus on the good here.
What was the other guy that was with Morrow? He did a pretty good job.
Percy? You know what? I don't know what happened to Nigel, and it sucks. You know, I like Nigel a lot, but dude, Percy proved that even though, yes, he still had ways to go.
He's still a green, but he's pretty good.
He's way fucking better than like a fucking Byron Saxton, or you know, he really is fucking good. So you know what? He proved that, like, I hate to say it, he proved that the 3-man booth sometimes can fucking hurt people. Because when it's a 3-man booth, he really doesn't have much to say. When it's him and just Morrow as a 2-man team, man, does he have enough to say. And you know what? I have a problem with 3-man booths ever since you know, they started doing it here in WWE. It's like it's not translating the way it was in WCW, because there's a lot of hindrance. There's a lot you can't say. So it's, you know, I don't know. I was definitely happy with
in WCW. It worked because you had the two guys like making a full on argument. One would be for the face, and the other guy would be the heel. Here, it just turns into like bad bickering contest, and it has nothing to do with the actual match. It's like you can still do that. You can still have a commentary team, and you can have the guy who's doing the play-by-play can be the guy that's for the face. He's the guy that's supposed to be unbiased. Now, the other guy, you just need one heel. You just need one heel commentator. That's it. That's all you need. Or you can have the guy completely not be the heel commentator. You just be a regular babyface and just comment on what he sees in the match. That's all you need. You don't need like 3 or 4 guys. It just makes a clusterfuck. And that was the problem that you had in the Royal Rumble. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. But, you know, dude, I don't know. But anyway, Alistair went over. Good for him. Glad he got the pin. I think he's back on track. I don't know. It's like the story explained itself, and it's like, you know, in my opinion, the guy's still fucking kick ass. Sure, he's gotten pinned, but singles competition, he's still undefeated. He's still a fucking badass. He's still a guy that you have to fucking try to humble. And doing it alone is not an easy task. But move on. We got my opinion. I regardless, this is me talking here. Regardless of what anyone says.
It's me talking too. Fuck.
Regardless what anyone says, this to me, and I love Naito. You know how much I love Naito. This to me was better than Okada versus Naito this year. Johnny Gargano versus Cien Almas for the NXT Championship. Way fucking better. Go. You take the floor.
Oh, shots have been fired. Fuck. I'm trying to like think.
They started with chain wrestling.
It's a very similar type story, but then it had, yeah. As far as like, I'd say the work was very similar in the amount that they did and what they were trying to convey. Very similar storylines. The difference is Okada is the face and Cien Almas is the heel. So you have a face champion, you have a heel champion. To be honest, I'm pretty sure if Naito was listening to this fucking match, I don't think he'd be angry for you saying that, because him and El Sombra are fucking boys.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. It's just like I gotta rewatch them because they're both fantastic matches. But watching this and getting the pure emotion out of it, I think the finish was a little flat. That's the only thing I can say. The finish for this was a little flat. Fuck. I gotta rewatch it. I can't really say right now. Like just because I saw this one recently, it's a little bit more fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to call it. In a storytelling perspective, yeah, it's a better match. Overall work, I think Okada and Naito. I think Okada and Naito was a little bit better.
I'm gonna agree to disagree. Just the only reason why I'd rate this better, a lot of it had to do with the emotion around it. A lot of it had to do with the idea of there was. I feel like there was more. How do I put it? I feel like the fact that you had a guy like Johnny Gargano that a lot of people were sleeping on, and Cien Almas, who, guys, everyone listening, can we stop pretending that Cien Almas is fucking boring? I know I sound like a fucking fanboy here, but guys, for all those, all right, for the people that actually did like buy into the Del Rio gimmick, can we admit that Cien Almas is like a million fucking times better than that fucking chode? Million fucking times from everything about him. Is his promos great? No, because the guy's not fucking English speaking. But that's what Zelina Vega's for. The package is tremendous. You know, in the sense of, you know, it's a fucking ratchet Puerto Rican woman coming out there, Mexican, whatever you want to call. Well, not whatever we call her. Whatever she is.
Well, that's gonna be funny. You're gonna have to explain that. Jesus Christ.
What the fuck? Let me find out before I sound more ignorant here. Let me find out what she is. I'm sorry, I don't know her nationality.
We're not ignorant already. You could have just said Spanish or Hispanic.
All right, Hispanic. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, so you got her who's, you know, she's Hispanic, but yet, you know, like I said, she's coming out there. She has an attitude on her, and she does the talking for him, and then he comes out there, he just kicks
really
ass.
Good talker too.
Yeah, and he goes out there kicking ass, and it's like, do you need anything more than that? I don't know. It just bothers me now when I hear people go, "Oh, he's still boring." How? The guy busted his ass for a half an hour and went on the Rumble the next day. How the fuck is he boring? He's a great worker, but as a character, he's boring. Which, again, he doesn't know English that great. He's not going to come out there and give you fucking story time like WWE loves. That's what he has a manager for. That's what he has a valet for. And Johnny Gargano, what a fucking baby face. My God, please keep this guy here. Please keep him down here. Because
I love the fact that they kept going and making the allusion to like, oh, he's like a Daniel Bryan, he's a Daniel Bryan, and then they like subverted the entire storyline by having him lose. That was fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, he didn't need the win. That's another thing. He didn't need the win because, honestly, here's my thoughts on, like, and again, I know I'm towing the fucking line here for all of us, but, he just got the belt a takeover ago from Drew McIntyre, back in November. The guy only had the belt 2 months so far. Let him hold it a little longer. It's like people are still behind Johnny. Johnny has a program coming up with Tommaso once Tommaso's fully healed. He has his wife that's down there now, which they fucking dolled her up really quick. She looks like a total different human being. But man, it's like a lot of the crowd just did not and still doesn't give a fuck about Almas. Give him the belt. Give him some credibility for a little bit. Don't just give it a thing where, Johnny has to have the belt right now. Because like I told you, if it almost would be like they would switch the belt too much because of how many main eventers they have down there for that belt. They're switching it too much. They would be switching it too much. So that's why they need someone right now to hold the belt a little more than just one takeover.
But to be honest, it wouldn't have made sense to give Gargano the belt because then who do you have that it's going to go and take on I guess Adam Cole, but it's too fucking soon. I think right now I think they're smarter by letting Cien Almas have the belt for a little bit longer. Set up a feud between him and whoever wants to take him on next, which is probably going to be Aleister Black, and have Aleister Black win at the takeover before WrestleMania.
Yeah,
and then you have this like gauntlet of guys that he has to go through because everybody's going to be, they're going to have their eyes on him. You have Adam Cole, you have the
rematch between
Dream.
him.
You have
Velveteen Dream.
You have all these different guys that he has to go through.
Lars Sullivan, Ciampa, Killian Dane, Eric Young. Hey, how about some of the notables that were ringside, huh? Ricochet. You had War Machine there too, but they were the tags. And the main one that everyone was like, oh shit, EC3.
Yeah, exactly. You have all these potential heel enemies if you book him like Stone Cold, you can have all these different fucking like matchups for him going forward. Who wouldn't want to see for the fucking who wouldn't want to see at the takeover before SummerSlam the rematch of Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream or him and Adam Cole again. numerous different guys that they could set up in any type of dream match with this guy, and then you also have, let's say they keep the belt on Cien Almost, you have a bunch of face opponents for him lined up. You can do a lot of stuff with him.
Right.
They have to be smart, and I think Triple H knows what he's fucking doing.
Yeah. I mean, as much as we want to give Triple H sometimes, when it comes to this, he definitely knows what he's doing. And with that, what do you give TakeOver as a whole?
You know my feelings. I overall, as a pay-per-view, as streamlined and as the flow was good, overall as a show, I thought it was better than a Wrestle Kingdom. Match quality, I think some of the matches in Wrestle Kingdom were better.
Yeah.
But for the overall show, and how easily it was to get through the show, and it kept my attention throughout. I didn't feel any of the matches were kind of like slow and plodding, and it forced me to try and keep my attention. I thought this was a better pay-per-view overall. I would give it an A, a solid A.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that too. Yeah, I'm gonna say fucking A+. Well, yeah. Well, okay, maybe not an A+. Maybe solid A. I just thoroughly enjoy. You know what it is, man? Like these NXT takeovers, it's like you look at the card and you think to yourself, "All right, maybe this will be good. I don't know." And then like when you're done watching, you're like, "This was one of the best wrestling shows I've ever watched this year." Like, man,
it's like one of the first takeovers this year. So
this was the first takeover this year, and it's
yeah.
Yeah, it's only fucking January, and it's already like, holy shit, So, and with that, let's move on to the Royal Rumble 2018.
Which is the show you sort of liked, and
yeah.
I hated.
All right,
I hated it.
I will explain. I will explain myself.
Oh no, I know. You don't even have to explain it. You have a huge, massive heart-on for Shinsuke winning the Royal Rumble.
Yes, I fucking do. Because, dude, they brought this fucking guy and his wife and his kid all to fucking Florida from Japan. Give him a motherfucking reason to be there. He's a fucking top draw. Give him a fucking reason to be in that fucking place. Don't just bring him in just a fucking job to people. Clearly they gave him this mainly because WWE was happy that he was willing to put these guys over when they wanted him to. The fact that they wanted him to put over fucking Jinder Mahal and Corbin, it's like, to the casual eye, holy shit, was that terrible. But to them, it meant the world, so that's why they're like, we're gonna throw him a bone. We're gonna give him one of the biggest fucking wins in the company. So yeah,
too bad they put it in the middle of the fucking card.
That was my problem. That I will explain. But anyway,
I will explain what I think. Hey,
okay.
Look,
okay.
The Japanese guy is gonna win the Royal Rumble. Maybe we don't want to put him in the end of the show. Hey, Stephanie, you want all these women to be a feature because it's the first ever women's Rumble. Yeah, so we can say how progressive we are. And we're going to put Ronda Rousey at the end of the show. Oh, who's Shinsuke again? Oh, he's that Japanese guy. Oh,
he's a man. He thinks he... Oh, dude. All right. All right, fuck this. We're flying. Hang on. No. We're flying. We're flying through this. We're not going detailed into this fucking card.
Oh, no. You want a boring fucking bullshit match? How about two boring bullshit matches that were in the fucking U.S. title? The U.S. title match. What the fuck was going? Mojo versus. Oh god, Mojo versus Bobby Roode was probably the most boring piece of shit match I've seen in a long time. In a long time. I was willing to give Bobby Roode the fucking benefit of the doubt.
I told you, man.
Don't like him now.
I told you.
I know why you don't like him now.
Okay, listen. As a human being, I got to meet him a couple times. I like the guy personally. As a human being, I like him. As a guy that they're bringing him in because of a theme song, because I'm sorry for everyone that hates me when they say this, because unlike me, everyone has a hard-on for Queen. Yeah, it doesn't really entice me to mark out for the guy. I'm not a Queen fan. I'm not that big of a Queen fan. The Glorious theme is pretty much a Queen ripoff. And it's like, Bobby Roode is an okay worker, but he proved he cannot carry a bag of shit in the form of Mojo Rawley. The guy's a decent worker on a card where it's like 2,000 people, 3,000 people. He is not someone to entice you. I'm sorry, he never was. He's a tag team wrestler. That's the best way to explain it. He is a fucking tag team wrestler. He is not a singles guy. Him and James Storm, they should have came up together. They should have been like Beer Money or something. They probably wouldn't call it Beer Money, but there could have been something along those lines. Change the name, change the gimmick a little bit. But I don't know. It just I'm glad this clarifies the reason why I am not a Bobby Roode fan in WWE.
It's just like you said, he's the white Jinder Mahal.
I wouldn't go that. No, Mojo Rawley is. I wouldn't go that far with Bobby.
No, I mean as far as his workability and how they try to push him, but it doesn't work.
No, dude, he's the love child of Triple H and Randy Orton, who watched a lot of Rick Rude and Ric Flair VHS tapes. He's the walking embodiment of a guy that looks at you and goes, "Have you heard of Greg the Hammer Valentine? Oh, dude, you gotta watch this match from 1983 with fucking Greg Valentine and fucking Tito Santana from fucking AWA, man." I'm just fucking making an example here. Don't chew me out if that match never happened. And I'd be surprised because those guys work everywhere. But yeah, the guy, I don't know. I've never been in WWE. I'm not impressed with him as a singles guy. He needs a fucking tag team. This is just no. I'm sorry, just no. Revival. I'm glad they got their win back against Gallows and Anderson. Because I wasn't really too happy with them getting buried.
So boring.
No, it was boring. It was boring.
Huh?
But it was boring. But I'm glad that they got their win back, because I don't want these guys being buried. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm asking for.
I was so bored watching this fucking match, and it's like, these guys are talented. Why? And then it got worse.
Well, you know what's funny? It's like from the pre-show, because I was like, fuck it, I had nothing to do. I was in my house at fucking 5 o'clock. And I was like, because I was messing around with my television upstairs, because I was able to get the network up there. I finally got Wi-Fi in my room, and I hooked up these really cool speakers, these Bose speakers, whatever. So I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm just going to throw the pre-show on, and then I'll watch the Cruiserweight match, where it was Gallagher, TJP, and Gulak versus the Luchadors. I was like, fuck, this is a good match. That was the best match on the entire pre-show. Was it one of the best matches of the night? By fucking no means at all, but it was fun. It was fun to get people in the door. I really enjoyed the.
It actually might have been.
Yeah. Actually, looking at everything else, maybe. Yeah,
it actually was. It was the best match.
Yeah. Because no, dude, I did enjoy that fucking. The spot of the match obviously was the triple moonsault or the dueling moonsaults or whatever you want to call it from one ring post. Like, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that was.
I don't know. I don't know. These guys have good chemistry in the ring. I don't know. It was a nice little thing to open the day with, I guess you could say. And obviously the baby faces went over. Okay, now as far as the main card goes, here's plenty of gripes, and you would wonder, okay, why is Eric gonna fucking praise this card then? I'm not necessarily praising the card itself, but hear me out. I don't understand why we have the Royal Rumble, the Men's Royal Rumble, and granted it was in the middle of the fucking card. Why the fuck, whatever. But, yeah, there's the main eventing WrestleMania. You get a headline WrestleMania. Meanwhile, the WWE title that you're fucking supposed to headline for is in the opening of the Royal Rumble, which, last time I checked, the Royal Rumble's a big fucking deal. I understand.
Whoa. Last year, okay, this is how much bullshit that whole main event WrestleMania thing is. Randy Orton won the Rumble last year.
Yeah, of course.
When was the WWE Championship?
Oh, shit. I don't know, like 4 or 5 matches away from the main event?
Exactly. So, bullshit. It shows how much the Royal Rumble actually fucking means. We're gonna have a bullshit. Look, no, this is gonna be the bullshit match. Look, as much as we want to see AJ versus Shinsuke, it's not gonna be in the main event. It's roided up Gorilla versus roided up Samoan.
Yeah. Oh well.
That's
I know that.
Main event.
Yeah, I know that. I know.
So and then this is the problem. Is like you have this entire fucking pay-per-view that's called the Royal fucking Rumble. That's supposed to be this huge goddamn deal, and you don't even the fucking person that wins it gets a raw goddamn deal. They don't even fucking main event the goddamn thing that it's supposed to. They say that it's supposed to be main eventing, and the whole time they're pointing at the fucking WrestleMania sign like a goddamn idiot. It's like, oh, we're going to WrestleMania. Yeah, you were going to be in WrestleMania regardless. It's just now you're in the fucking mid card. It's so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. It's like, yeah, we're gonna go to WrestleMania anyway, and we're gonna end up in probably the same spot. But now we're in a championship match. It's like, the fuck. It's like it basically proves that the Royal Rumble means fucking nothing. And then it's like the thing that's been going on for decades gets thrown to the side for the brand new fucking battle royale for the women that just came about this year, and that's the thing that closes out the show. It irks the shit out of me. Like, come on. That could have been. I know you can't do 2 battle royales back to back, but couldn't that been in the middle of the fucking show? But no, because we have to have Ronda Rousey come out. Let's talk about the shit show that was AJ Styles and this bullshit Sami Zayn and you know what this is probably going to lead up to? It's going to be a fucking fatal 4-way. I can already tell you. That's going to be your match. It's going to be a fucking fatal 4-way. Yo, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Oh shit. Sorry, folks. Audio fucking problems. Yeah. Anyway, what the fuck? Yeah. Clearly, everybody, Bonesaw is getting fed up with WWE. Tell us how you really feel.
No, it's gotten to the point where they put all these shows in the middle of the fucking, like, the match that you give a fuck about is in the middle of the card, and the bullshit one that you know the fucking results are always at the fucking end of the end of the show. It's like, I don't give a fuck about Brock Lesnar anymore. I don't give a fuck about the Universal title. It's a title that's going to be gone in the next 10 years. We already know what's going to happen to it. It's another world championship match, a world heavyweight championship belt. It's a bullshit one that they fucking came out of nowhere, so Raw would have something to challenge for. It's like, the belt's gonna be gone. We don't give a fuck about it. It's not the Intercontinental title. It's not the U.S. title. It hasn't been around for 20 years. It doesn't have any prestige to it. You can't just wipe Goldberg's fucking sweat on it and say it means something. And now we gotta deal with the fact that they completely buried the fucking actual title, the title that's been around since the fucking 1970s.
60s.
And you made it into a goddamn joke. And you know what? The funny thing is, and I'm gonna bring up the quote that Jim Cornette said, and he's kind of right in certain aspects. As much as we give him shit, he is right about one thing: funny don't sell. Funny don't fucking sell. You know, you're making AJ Styles, a guy who's not a comedy act, into a fucking comedy act. You got him fucking wrestling in a jerk fest with fucking Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and you bury both those fucking guys.
Yep.
What are they supposed to do now? You have both of them in a fucking stupid handicap match, and then Kevin Owens looks like a fucking chump. He's like, oh, I got fucking rolled up. And I guess it was a roll-up weekend because it was between NXT and this. There's like a bunch of fucking roll-ups. You make him look like a fucking mook. And then they have the whole thing going forward with the fucking the non-tag. So now we have to deal with the whole backlash with that. And then guess what? We already know what's going to happen. It's either at the next pay-per-view or they're going to end up bullshitting it and making it a fatal four-way for the fucking title at WrestleMania. And then there goes the whole point of the fucking Royal Rumble anyway. Because then they could just go, oh, well, we wanted the belt.
Nah, they'll do something in Fastlane.
Do you really think WWE is going to really do that? Don't you think jamming as much people in a fucking match as possible is WWE's answer of, hey, we're going to make it more popular?
I see them fucking trying to buy time and do something in fucking Fastlane.
And this match was terrible. I want to give an award to WWE for somehow making a fucking terrible match with AJ Styles, Sami fucking Zayn, and Kevin Owens. Guys that were on the indie scene or in Japan or Ring of Honor that were fantastic. And suddenly in WWE, in Royal Rumble, which is one of the big four pay-per-views, suddenly they have no talent whatsoever. They're not able to put on a fantastic match. You got to be shitting me. It's like somehow they said, no, you can't be too good because then people are gonna like complain about the Royal Rumble or something. It's like, it made no sense. It's just like they went out and were doing, going through the motions because they were either pissed off or Bucky Beaver told them, no, you can't do any spots or actual chain wrestling. You gotta do like an arm hold for like 5 minutes, and then going into like basic Irish whips off the ropes. Oh no! You're gonna no, AJ, you gotta win off an O'Connor roll.
Yeah, but can someone please explain to me why they couldn't have the fucking tag title match be the opening? Like, why did the WWE Championship, the Heavyweight Championship, have to be the opening on the card? You know, why couldn't it have been the fucking Gable and Benjamin? And none for none. Why even bother?
So bad?
Why even bother making it? Why even bother making that match 2 out of 3 falls if it was only gonna last 2 falls going to the Usos?
Because then they can't say that they were cheated.
Yeah, and by the way, I fucking knew it. They were gonna swipe the DWI under the rug.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew
because
that.
They're over.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I don't know. That match was okay. The Usos and Gable Benjamin. It wasn't that I couldn't say was terrible. There was a lot of nice moments in that.
But you buried the fucking guys. You buried the guys. They just took 2 pins, and that was it.
Oh yeah. No, I'm talking about the actual spots.
Oh, the spots were fine.
Yeah.
Up until the fact that they're like, well, you know, but the match was quick. It was like 10 minutes.
13 minutes. Wiki is saying. Yeah, Wiki's saying 13 minutes. So you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Practically fucking rounded up to it's fucking 10 minutes.
So basically, what I'm getting from it is like, Bucky Beaver's like, oh, you can't go over your time because we gotta do the fucking Rumble.
Yeah. Dude, why couldn't Brock go after this? Like, okay. Alright, you know what? Yeah, why couldn't Brock... Alright, this is what I would have done. Usos, opening match. Second match. Make it... Fuck it. Hey, you know what? Dude, even then... Let the people that fucking came there to see Brock be happy. Put him on at fucking 7:30. Could have done the Usos. Then you could have did Brock Lesnar. Then you could have did fucking the Brock, you know, the 3-way whatever. Then after that, you could have done I get it. That it's the toilet's symbolic for what you think of this pay-per-view.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. Man, trying to get a review out of Patrick right now is like legitimately trying to get Earls to watch anything past 2002. Man,
no, it's look. I just don't like this pay-per-view at all. It just everything about it. It's like, you know what the thing is? They made it into a fucking like progressive stand, but everything else had to suffer because of it. Yeah, matches sucked with AJ. The matches sucked with the Usos. Both guys, both the Usos and AJ Styles are at the top of their game. There's no reason they should have had a bad match. There's no reason. And especially last year when you had a match between AJ and Cena, which was a fucking instant classic. And then you have this. It's just like the company just spitting in your fucking face because they need to have their fucking progressive bullshit spewed at us. And I understand. Look, I'm gonna like let's just start skipping through all this bullshit. So what was the next one was the
Rumble.
The Rumble itself.
All right. Here's where I want to chime in here. This is exactly why personally I'm not. I get it. The first Women's Royal Rumble. I'm gonna get into that once we start talking about it. But Here's the one thing I will say that I'll be like, okay, whatever, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it main eventing this card. No stretch of the imagination do I think the Royal Rumble should have went on when it did. It could have went on a match like Cesaro and Sheamus could have went on before this. That's what I'm trying to say here. Like, they could have did the Rumble, a match in between, and then the Women's Rumble. It should have not went on at fucking 8 o'clock. It could have went on at 9, honestly. But, or, you know, whatever. But yeah, dude, here's where I will say I'm okay with the women main eventing. What would you rather have as a surprise entrance main event, the Royal Rumble? Trish and Lita or Hurricane Helms? A fucking Joe character. Ray,
fucking Mysterio show up.
I was happy with Ray showing up. I was really fucking happy with Ray showing up.
They had Raymond fucking Mysterio pop up. And I was fine with Hurricane.
Nah.
It is what it. Well, it was what it needed to be. It was. Dude. It was a waste of a spot.
Who
was the surprise entrance last year?
Nobody.
Exactly. You had 4 surprises.
You mean to tell me that
no one knew Cien Almost was going to be in the fucking Royal Rumble. No one knew Adam Cole was going to be in the Royal Rumble. No one knew. No one knew Hurricane was going to be in the Royal Rumble. No one knew Rey Mysterio. You had 4 surprises. They were legitimate surprises. I was happy with it.
No,
it's better than having Mark Henry trudging Mark Henry and Big Show in for like the 50th time.
I see. I got you to admit there was a positive on this card. The Rumble itself, you got to admit, the Rumble match itself was a lot more positive than the one last year.
Oh yeah, the Rumble itself was better. The Rumble itself.
That's why I can't say fuck this pay-per-view. Fuck it as a whole. Sure, but I can't say this was the worst because the Rumble itself, it'll stand out to me as you got a good winner. You had surprises finally for the first time in years.
It's like getting happy because instead of shitting yourself, you pissed yourself. Like last year, I shit myself, but this year I only pissed myself. So it's a win-win. That's what I feel. It's just like it's the worst. It's like the lesser of two evils. Like this, years ago, you used to get good Royal Rumbles, and they would be in the beginning. They would be in the end of the show. You would get a good match. You would have a good card, and now it's just like, the Rumble was good. There's surprises. Roman didn't win. And that's what every Royal Rumble turns into now. Yay, Roman didn't win.
You got a point. You got a point.
Every Rumble is the same fucking thing.
But why can't we just be happy for Nakamura though? That they
I
finally
am
do him
happy for
something.
Nakamura. I'm incredibly happy for Nakamura. But the problem is he deserved fucking better. He deserved better. You throw the guy garbage for fucking almost a year. He's doing nothing. He has had garbage matches. He's been putting over talent that he shouldn't have to because the guy is a fucking legend. The guy's a legend in New Japan.
Yeah,
it's like having it would be like bringing in Thunder Liger and putting him in fucking 205 Live and letting him job to everybody in 205 Live.
Nah, taking Nakamura and having him job to Jinder Mahal would be like taking John Cena. Sorry, putting him in fucking Japan and have him job to Yoshihashi.
Job to Yoshihashi.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just about the same. And what drives me nuts is you put this guy through all this shit, and then you put him in a fucking Royal Rumble. And this is the Royal Rumble that makes is when you think about it, like in the fact that it's in the middle of the card, means so little. So little because it's the Royal Rumble that you can tell that the company is so for, because they didn't put it in. They didn't put Nakamura's win at the end of the show. It's the one that's they don't give a fuck about because it's not. It's you know what it is? It's Macho versus Flair. That's what they feel about this Royal Rumble. It's a classic to us. It's a classic to us, but they don't give a fuck because it's not Hulk Hogan.
Well, they in their minds they thought to themselves, because it's the first women's Rumble, this has to be the main event. I will get into that. I will get into this. I will get into this.
It drives me fucking bonkers. And I'm gonna say this when we get to it. What was the next match after this?
No. I gotta go because I gotta say a few things. All right, about the NXT guys being here, because I gotta say what the funny thing about Adam Cole. Sienna Almas, I'm happy they had the NXT champion in here because the Rumble match, same thing with the women's one now. It should be an incentive now to have the fucking champion of NXT in every Royal Rumble because it makes you want it more. It makes you want it makes the belt mean more. If, hey, I'm the champion and I need to be the champ by January so I could be in the Rumble. So that was cool, and they should continue that trend every year. That doesn't mean they should get called up. It just means be in the Rumble every year if you're NXT champion. Now, the next thing I wanted to say about Adam Cole is just, to me, it's too funny not to mention how fucking tiny this guy is, standing next to a guy like Randy Orton. The joke was that Joe from Soup said that was like Adam Cole next to Randy Orton looks like Randy Orton was picking up his son from college.
Oh, if they wanted to be mean, they could have just said it's Randy Orton picking up his kid from daycare.
Oh,
exactly.
Oh, I mean, come on, Adam Cole's not that tiny. He's like, and by the way, fucking Wiki, fuck you, man. Wiki's saying that he's 6'1".
Who?
Adam Cole.
Really?
Where?
No.
Where? I gotta pull
like
up
when
the
his hair is
shot.
pulled up.
I gotta pull up the shot of him
he's
near
like
Rey
5'9".
Mysterio.
He's
I gotta pull
like 5'9", 5'10". He's not 6'1". Fuck.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing too. Hey, can we acknowledge that Kofi Kingston's thing is getting old? Oh, I'm gonna land in the pancakes.
Yeah, he landed 1 foot on the pancakes. It's like,
waka.
Didn't someone get eliminated for having 1 foot on the ground? Like years ago, wasn't it the Big Show?
No, it was never 1 foot. Oh yeah. Technicality, yeah, that was a botch. Yeah, the 2000 Royal Rumble finish was a botch.
Yeah, wasn't that like his foot hit the ground, and there was in storyline that his foot touched the ground. It's like now it's like and it's too many goddamn rules when it comes to like people rolling out. It should be like, let's be honest, it shouldn't. If you touch the ground at all, you should be eliminated. It's too many times when you have to keep explaining. Oh well, he rolled out of the ring. Oh, he's getting weapons. Oh, he's still included in the Rumble. He just rolled out for a second.
You know what I always thought? I thought what they should have done is the Royal Rumble should have always made a rule, and they could still do it now, where it's like, okay, if you want to go out to the floor, you have exactly 1 minute, and if you're out there longer than a minute, you're automatically disqualified.
Or, you know what? You can't do that because then, like, they would get confused because there were so many people that are outside the ring.
Yeah, it should. I don't know. I feel like they should do something other than just, "Oh, there's outside of the ring. It's totally fine."
Yeah, because if I'm watching it for the first time, I'm gonna be like, oh, yeah, he touched the ground. Well, isn't he out?
All right, now I'm sending you.
I get why they do it. I get why they do it because if they have too many guys in the ring at the same time, it's a clusterfuck. But
Yeah.
it just becomes obnoxious for the viewer because then you're like, oh, he's eliminated. Like, let's say I go take a piss and I come back and I see somebody like on the ground. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that guy's eliminated. No, he just got like knocked out and thrown out of the ring, but he didn't go over the top rope. It doesn't make any fucking sense. You know what they should do instead of having the ropes? Just put like they could come up and put like a barrier so you can't go through the mid and bottom ropes anymore.
Right. Yeah. They should do. No, I don't know. They should do fucking something other than just they fell out of the ring and we're just gonna let them stay there. Make a rule. Put fucking a barrier or something.
No, I mean you can put a barrier, like you have the ring crew come in. They put a rubberized barrier, like it doesn't have to be like a hard plastic. Like something that they can still Irish whip off the ropes, but like there's a barrier there so they can't just like go sliding underneath.
But then even then that limits fucking eliminations.
What do you mean?
Like that would like. All right, it would look more predictable on which way they would fucking eliminate guys, wouldn't it?
I mean, you could still like have like space underneath the ropes, but like you can't make it, or just instead of like putting a fucking barrier there, just don't have them throw guys under the middle ropes anymore or bottom ropes. You go out of the ring at all, you're fucking eliminated. How about that? I don't fucking see this in New Japan. Why is this the only time? Why out of all the battle royales and in the industry at all, WWE is the only one that we can go and hide on we can get out of the ring and hide under the fucking apron for like the entire match.
Hey, and you know what they could do too for Royal Rumble? Bring back their 20x20 ring. I love how they still try to claim that the ring is 20x20. Motherfucker, that's an 18x18. That is not your 20x20 anymore. That is your 18x18.
We both know that. They're just it's cost costing.
No, it's not cost. Yeah, you know why it's cost costing? We need LED lights. Everything needs to light up. Oh, wait, we have no more money? Oh, okay, cut pyro.
It's cost cutting.
Yeah, cost cutting. Yeah, I do it. I don't want to hear them. I don't want to hear that excuse.
It's the same bullshit though. They keep saying that. Oh, it's cost cutting.
I don't want to. Yeah.
Motherfucker, you were saying that you had the biggest year in the history of WWE last year. And you're telling me you got a fucking cost?
No.
What kind of bullshit is that?
I don't want to hear shit about that.
You can't even have Kane's fucking intro anymore. You can't even have the pyrotechnics anymore.
No, but we need the ring to say Roman Reigns. The ring doesn't need the.
We need the ring and the fucking the ramp to light on fire to symbolize Kane. No, motherfucker, I'd rather see pyrotechnics. It actually makes me jump. I want the feeling of jumping and hearing the pop when Kane comes out. I want to feel the fucking flames, the fire. I think the match that literally the last time they did that they did Kane's pyrotechnics was when we went in we were at Prudential.
Yeah, it was.
I think that was the last time they ever did his pyrotechnics.
And guess what, dude? I hope you enjoyed the time you, me, and Pete went in May to Raw because that was the last WWE show we have gone to, and we will probably go to in a very, 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 very long time that had pyro. That was the last show to have pyro for us.
No, actually, the last show I went to pyro was a better company, Ring of Honor.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did fucking fire.
They did fire. They did fucking fireworks. It actually felt like a goddamn wrestling show.
But again, like I said, the ring doesn't need the fucking light up. This, I don't know, like, it just sucks looking at this. I hate hearing this whole, oh, we gotta cut costs, but we had millions of dollars to spend on LEDs.
Oh, we have millions of dollars to bring in fucking Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. All right, fuck it. All right, let's fly through this. All right, let's go. So, Sheamus and Cesaro versus Rollins and Jordan. Dude, that crowd was fucking dead for that. I legitimately heard someone drop a nail clipper in like row 12. And also too, Rollins clearly paying homage to Bam Bam Bigelow.
By hurting people?
Good one. No, by his tights.
Oh, with the flames, yeah, that was pretty cool.
I don't know. I liked them. I didn't like. Soup was like, oh, what the fuck is up with the tights? I didn't mind them. I really didn't give a shit for him trying to do something different. It's better than Jason Jordan coming out there while his partner's wearing practically red. And yeah, Cole was on hold there for some reason. Yeah, no, it's better than Jason Jordan come out there with the green Titantron graphics. His partners come out there wearing red. Oh, I'm gonna wear blue and yellow tonight. Oh my god, I hate when fucking people team with each other and they don't try to color coordinate the littlest bit.
The colors don't match at all. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same problem I had with Cena during Survivor Series where blue, 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 blue. I'm back and I'm wearing green.
Because they have to sell merch.
I don't fucking care. All right, what was Jason Jordan's excuse?
Merch. They have to. It's the law.
What was Jason Jordan's excuse? Because he doesn't sell merch.
Nah, he's just a retard.
Oh, God, Pat. Jesus.
No, I mean, not like the character. I'm not the person.
No.
The character's a retard.
Don't say that word on this show. Well, I mean, we've said everything else, but...
Wait, you can't call people retarded anymore? Is that a thing now?
No, man, because on this show, we ended fucking racism and sexism. Stephanie McMahon ended it.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, since the bar got the belts back.
She's a big, giant, slutty whore.
We'll fucking talk. God. I just want to really... Alright, let's just keep... No, I can't wait to fucking chew into this. But let's keep going. Is there anything you want to talk about from the tag match other than the clusterfuck that was?
I love the fact that he decided the whole time he's like, oh no, I'm good to the ref staff, and he kept cutting into that, and then when he's finally so to like get back into the thing, he tags himself in, and then he walks like three steps, and then decides, no, I can't do this, and then just goes and like sits on the fucking steps like he's like a kid thinking about his life.
Dude,
like
yeah.
he looked like an inner city child, like thinking about how shitty his life is.
Jason Jordan is officially the love child of Gerald and Stoop Kid.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude, he has the worst acting of all. I swear to God, I've seen better acting from fucking Monty Python. Like
no, I'm good. I'm gonna shake my head. I'm gonna shake my head slightly to show that I'm almost concussed. And it wasn't even like a bad hit. It was just like a dainty little fucking like strike off like off stupid LEDs.
Yeah.
And it's like they didn't you know like how they did the knee strike and the LED had like that broken look, like it looked remember when and I'm gonna bring up a better match that they did it. They did this properly when almost did the knee strike on Gargano, and Gargano's head went like and crashed into the, and he was already injured, and the guy was like bleeding from the nose and was like continuously bleeding from the nose.
Yeah.
See him crash in his head into the LED, and the LED shook, and then they put a new like LED like the LED like changed to make it look like he affected the LED somehow. Like he hit it so hard that the LED was like busted, and it had like that weird like faded screen. Like he struck it really hard. They did the same fucking thing here, but they didn't do that. Like the LED was the same as it was. Like it was made like, oh yeah, he just nudged it a little bit. Like he didn't hit it full on, and he's supposed to be concussed. And the refs are afraid for him. It's just like you're looking at it and you're like, what the fuck? Really?
Looking at
That's
the
so
beating,
stupid.
yeah, looking at the beating Gargano took, you'd be like, oh, okay, this guy looks concussed. Jason Jordan, I hurt my nail. I hurt my nail. He's like Ahmed Johnson. Fucking stubs his toe. I can't.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know. Next, we had fucking Braun, Brock, and Kane. This is exactly why I didn't get my hopes up.
Oh, and you know what I did? I just like when I got to this point and I knew that was coming on. I fast forwarded past everything. I got to like the last like 2 minutes of the match. I watched it from there, and I said, if Brock wins, I don't watch the match. If anyone else wins the match, I'll watch the match from there. Like I'll rewind and watch the match over again. If Brock wins it, if the Asthmatic Gorilla wins, I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna move on to like the next thing.
And you moved on to the next thing.
So I didn't watch the fucking match. I just spared myself time and fucking effort.
It was not that. It was meh. It was Brock dumps the table.
Are you telling me a 50 and a 40-year-old wrestling a guy who actually can work is going to be a bad match? You're telling me 2 guys that are really gigantic and don't have the wrestling ability anymore or advanced age and are trying to put themselves over and instead of like this new young talent is going to be a bad match? Oh shit! I would have never known that.
Yeah, it was meh. It was fucking meh. It was just not.
Of course, it's Asthmatic Gorilla and future mayor of Knoxville. That's what it was.
Yep.
Future. It's not Kane. It's future mayor of Knoxville County and Asthmatic Gorilla fighting with Braun in the fucking background. That's what it was. That's all it was going to be. What did anyone think of it? Did anyone else think that it was going to be a fantastic match? The only spot that I even liked was the fact that like Brock when Brock was down, Braun was just like, nah, I ain't gonna pin him off one. I'm gonna like hit him with like 3 or 4 and make sure his ass is down. I marked out to that, and that was the only thing. Everything else was just like, eh.
Yeah, it was fucking fodder. It was just generic fodder, and it's like, I want the Brock apologists to wake the fuck up. I really do. I don't understand.
Who apologizes for him anymore? He's boring. The fact, you know what the fucking funny thing is? I was listening to I actually listened to a podcast, and it was, I forgot whose podcast it was. I think it was with Goldberg. I forgot what podcast it was, but he was like, yeah, I could have went. Like, I've been trained. When they told me that we were going to do this, so yeah, I trained for months. I was willing to go for like a long match. They told me like, oh, we're just going to do like a 10-minute thing. was like, he's like, I was kind of disappointed. I wanted to actually, change people's minds, because there's like a lot of people didn't like my runs with WCW and WWE, and I wanted to like change their minds and show that I can actually go. And it's like, Goldberg could have fucking had a good match, and you fucking made him like, you babied him down because Brock can't go anymore. A guy who's fucking 10 years younger.
I would like to. All right, Mish is the main Brock apologist. I think he's the only one left. And with all due respect, that's his opinion. But at the same time, the main reason he can't go anymore, it's the fact that he had diverticulitis is showing, and it's showing bad. If you can't go any more than fucking 10 minutes, I'm sorry. Get your Hall of Fame ring and go bye. I really don't understand why the fuck they gotta keep the belt on him. And I understand he draws. I understand he's a name. But can we please just be done with this already? It's just... He's holding the fucking company hostage, and they cater to this fucking guy. Oh, he had diverticulitis. It could be a thing where they feel bad for him, or whatever.
Why? He fucked them over. When he was champion, he fucked them over completely, and then he just left the company, so he could go for his football career in UFC. And then when he couldn't do that anymore, he just came waltzing back. It's like, why did they take him back? Why? And they're like, and now his matches are the most boring bullshit things. Like, it boggles my mind. For as long as they've had this guy, he has done nothing for him. He's only put himself over. And you know how the company always gets pissed off when they say, oh, he's going into business for himself. Motherfucker, Brock made a fucking multinational corporation on your fucking backs, and you say nothing to him. But the young guys that bust their ass week after week, month after month, they do one fucking thing on the line, and you bust their ass back down to fucking... Not even the fucking cruiserweights. You put them in fucking, like, the bullshit pre-matches with the rest of the fucking maloops. You look at a fucking talent like Dolph Ziggler, and you got him coming out at fucking 30 just to get tossed out like fucking trash. And the guy's a fucking fantastic seller, a fucking fantastic fucking wrestler, and you got people fucking hating him. What the fuck? What the fuck? I mean, really? And I'm supposed to say this is a good fucking pay-per-view? Fuck you. I refuse. If I could, I would give this fucking pay-per-view an F. Because it did nothing. It made me actually pissed off. It pissed me off. Just the disdain for their fucking talent. To the guys that have been busting their ass for years. And the fact that, we gave the Royal Rumble to Shinsuke Nakamura. Fuck you. He didn't even need it. The guy's a legend. He doesn't need your bullshit Royal Rumble anymore. Your Royal Rumble obviously doesn't even fucking matter to you anymore. The fact that it's a joke year in and year out. And you know what the best part is? And I'm gonna go into my rant about fucking Stephanie.
Oh, here we go.
And her fucking family voted for Trump, endorsed Trump, gave him millions of dollars. They were the biggest fucking super PAC to give him money. And you're gonna fucking look me in the eye and tell me that you give a flying fuck about the women? And then she's on commentary, and then she's talking about, how much we love the women. The women are the future. The women are this. The women are that. You gave two flying fucks about them. Obviously, you wouldn't have voted for Trump. And the fact is, you were fine doing all the sexist, racist bullshit back in the Attitude Era, but now suddenly you find a conscience because the political climate has changed, and because women want to say things now, because now you suddenly find some form of femininity now that there's a women's revolution going on outside of what you were saying. And the fact that you kept calling it a women's revolution, and yeah, it had 2 women that did nothing but fuck around with the staff, and that's your women's revolution. When you got Nikki Bella and Brie Bella coming out, and their claim to fame is that they spread their legs, and you got women that fucking busted their ass for years and have no success. The fact that you have someone like Bayley on the fucking roster and you fucking bury her ass and you're saying it's a fucking women's revolution, you, Stephanie McMahon, can go fuck yourself into oblivion.
Yeah, we start off the Royal Rumble with pretty much...
We are women, we are free, we're bringing an end to the patriarchy. We are women, hear our pain. We are women, hear our shout. We are women, have no doubt. We are women, we are...
Yeah, basically all it was a fucking... They main evented the Royal Rumble because it was political. It was a political thing to do.
I don't give a fuck if it's political or not. I don't care. I don't care if it's political. I want women to get proper respect in wrestling. There's a lot of fantastic women. But, and this is a big but, why don't you make a different pay-per-view for them? Why are you recycling something that men have been doing for years and then passing it off as, well, they're doing it now and it's going to be a liberating thing? It's like you don't need them to be in the Royal Rumble. Make their own pay-per-view. Have them do something independent from the men. That's how you have them be, by trying to treat them like they're equal, to try and treat them like they're equal, they're making them less equal, because then you see the issues. The fact is, by having a men and women's Royal Rumble, it shows how unequal they are.
Yeah.
You had wasn't China in the Royal Rumble years ago?
China, Beth Phoenix, who was in this one. She's the only competitor so far to be in the men's and women's Rumble.
See, I don't fucking get this. Then just add them into the Royal Rumble. No, you can't do that, because all the women that you put in WWE now are all fat bait. They physically cannot go with the men. They can't. They're all fat bait, and you made it like that. Years ago, men and women could wrestle together, and they could put on competitive matches. But now, because the climate is, you can't ask for equality and then decide that no, we don't want equality, but we don't want men and women in a fighting sport to face each other, because it would be too weird. And then if you want to do something, why don't you do something completely brand new? Instead of doing a battle royale, you do a brand new match style that's brand new for the women. Then you can say, well, we gave them something that's brand new, that's exciting, that shows their independence from the men. They're not just copying and pasting everything the men do. We're not just copying and pasting Hell in a Cell and Royal Rumble and every other match, and in the fucking Elimination Chamber and every other goddamn thing. Because they're just, that's all they're doing. They're just copying and pasting all the match types that the men normally do, and then just giving it to the women. And that's a revolution.
Yeah, because they're saying what the men could do, we could do better. That's their MO.
But it's not independent. You're just doing what the men do. You're just doing what the men do. You're not being independent from the men. It's just like, it's basically, instead of doing a brand new match style and doing a brand new a new type of whatever, you're just doing what the men do. And then you're just trying to prove to the men. It shouldn't even be that. It should be like, we want to do wrestling for ourselves. We're not proving anything to the men. We're not proving anything to the naysayers. We're proving it to ourselves that we can do wrestling. We can have fun with it. It's not about proving it to the men. If you want true independence, it's about proving it to yourself and having fun and making living as a wrestler. The fact that they keep going to the old well of, oh, men don't think we can. No, the only asshole men don't think that you can't do it. And if anyone's saying, oh, well, I don't want to see women's wrestling, then go fuck themselves. They don't have to. But it's their opinion. And it's gotten to the point where they gotta prove, and they gotta shove it down your fucking throat that men don't want you to wrestle. No, I don't want you to. I don't think you should be doing the Royal Rumble and the Hell in a Cell and every other fucking match type, and basically doing a baby down version because they don't think you can do it because you'll hurt yourselves. And that's what happens in every fucking one of these matches. It's just a baby down version, and they make it seem like, oh well, the women are doing it. The women are doing it, and they're being independent and being strong. But you're doing the match type, but it's 3 times worse. And that's what gets me. It's the fact that they're making this into a political thing, and they're not even doing it well. And they're so hypocritical about all this shit because this is a company that has treated women like garbage for decades, and suddenly now you have a fucking backbone because Stephanie wants political pull later on because she wants to go into politics like her mother did.
I hate the idea. You know what annoyed me more about this Royal Rumble? I hate the idea that it was, okay, we're gonna have this monumental thing and whatever. It's like, okay, fine. You know what? Did it have to be the main event? Not really. I mean, not really. I mean, it could have been its own thing. I'm like, look, I'm a little different than you. I'm okay with them doing a Rumble, but for them to make it the main event, it didn't need to be. I feel like you're putting it more on a pedestal than it is.
But
like for it to be the first ever is the first ever.
You can do a battle royale. You can do a battle royale, but does it need to be called the Royal Rumble?
I don't know. I was okay with the Rumble.
I don't. The thing is, you don't need to just keep copying what the men do. If you want to be brand new and independent and strong, why would you just keep copying what the men do? And you're just making a brand new like if you're doing a brand new, like you want to be strong, independent, and be regarded like the men. The men just don't randomly, if like you go to different companies, they just randomly do what every other company does. They branch out. They do other things. They come up with new match types. You know, you can do other things. You know.
Right.
And the fact is, like I just said, women used to be allowed into the Royal Rumble. You're going and saying, well, was it the first women's Rumble ever? We had women in the Rumble before. This is not a brand new exciting development. Women used to wrestle with the men. And women were the Intercontinental Champion. Women used to wrestle and be in tag teams with the men, and they used to be in the Royal Rumble. And now you've taken that completely away. Fuck, women wrestle with men in other companies. And you're telling me here that you're so advanced and progressive and all these other bullshit buzzwords to make yourself look like a progressive fucking company. And the fact is, you're making this brand new women's Royal Rumble, and it's meaningless. You did nothing with it other than basically just doing what the men do. There's no different rules. There's no twist on it. It's just another Royal Rumble just for the women. Now we gotta sit through. Basically, how long was the men's Rumble?
An hour.
An hour. So we gotta sit through 2 hours of eliminations now. Because we have to do back-to-back Royal Rumbles.
Well, you know what they could. What if they just did 20 girls?
I don't see the reason to do it. I don't.
I don't know.
You're just doing what the men do. You're just doing what the men do. Just come up. No, they want to be revolutionary. Then come up with your own fucking match types.
No, I get that. I do. You know what they could? Okay. What if they took the fucking Aztec warfare and instead of just weapons, want to make it okay? It could be it could be a Royal Rumble style match, but pinfalls and submission are allowed. It's not much, but it's different than just here over the top rope you go. Because not for nothing, Paul Heyman's MO when he was in ECW was accentuate the positives, hide the negatives. A lot of the problem with this Royal Rumble was watching a girl as good as Ruby Riott is. She had a fucking significantly hard time getting over the top rope. It felt bad for her, but she had a significantly... And it's not her fault. It's how short she is. It's nothing to do with her as far as a talent. Or how tough she is. She's short. A lot of these girls are short. So why not just exploit it? Let it go. Okay. It's not to say you can't go over the top rope. By all means, do top rope eliminations. But do submissions. Do pinfalls. You know, make it a free-for-all. It would come off as fun and different in a way. It would be
how
like,
about,
man.
Instead of having them come out with the timer and everything, why don't you do what? I hate to give TNA any credit for this, but why don't you have a thing where they have to start off from the ramp, and like you do a timer. You bring out 5 women. They have to race to the ring, and they're fighting each other to get into the ring. And the first 2 that get into the ring are safe for the Rumble, and then the other. What?
I don't know. That they did something like that in like the first NXT. Like when it was like a reality show. That sounds a little gimmicky.
What I'm saying is they do that, like you go into groups. Like let's say you have 40 women.
Okay.
You bring them out into groups of 5, and you have 8 groups. So they come out, they get to the starting position, they run to the ring. If they get into the first 2 that get into the ring are safe for the rest of the battle royale. Now, after all the groups go in, whoever's left over from the women go and do a traditional battle royale. So you take out the fucking timing and all that other garbage, and you still have the pop because then you have the seconds going until the next group come out. It would be different than the Rumble. It would be much different than the Rumble. Stop. What I'm saying is stop doing what every single thing that every single match type that the men do. They keep doing. It's like, and every time they do it, it's supposed to be a big deal. But the match always ends up being a lackluster joke. The first Hell in a Cell.
But you know what it comes down to, dude? But you know what it comes down to? Here's the reason. I was even cringing thinking of them just doing the Aztec Warfare rule because I know exactly what it would say. Because I've had arguments with women about things like this, and I guarantee you there will be someone that would go, well, why can't they just go over the top rope? Why can't they do what the men could do, huh? Women could do what the men... Dude, it's a sexism thing. That's why they're doing exactly the same stipulations, is because women have this fucking... It's a feminism thing. I tried avoiding that word, but it is. And I know I'm already fucking getting nervous just saying it, but it is. It's a feminism thing.
I just... No, but my thing is, why would you want to do everything the men do? Like,
to prove themselves.
You're just doing the same match type over again, and that's why I think I did not get any enjoyment because I just watched it. Now I'm just watching the baby down version of it, and that's what it is to me. When they do women's matches now, they just end up doing. And look, they're just doing a baby down version of it. They're just doing the baby version because they can't do the spots that the men can. That's what it looks like. It's like WWE's pandering to women, but at the same time, the women that are like, oh well, they're pandering to me, so that means they care about me. No, they don't. They're pandering to you because they want your money. That doesn't mean they give a fuck about you. They're actually insulting you. They're insulting your intelligence. They're telling you that the women that they have aren't capable of doing anything else. They're just here to do the baby down version for the women. They're the women's NBA. They're doing all the baby stuff that the men can do on a normal basis. That's what they're telling you. They don't give a fuck about you. They're not coming up with brand new ideas for the women. They're not trying to put the women over. They're not giving them stuff to do that could get most of these women over. They don't care. They're gonna feed you the same garbage they do for the men, and they're gonna look at you in the eyes and say, "Well, it's a women's revolution. If it's so revolutionary, why are they doing the same things as the men? Be better. Do new things. Come up with new match types. Accentuate the fact that these are women."
You are talking about WWE, right?
Yeah, but you want to call it a revolution? Be revolutionary. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Did you see what I wrote?
Oof. Yeah, it is like the Puppy Bowl. Bowl, Super Bowl.
Again, I want people to understand something. What we're trying to say here is, in my opinion, I was okay with it, but do I think they could have done better? Sure, of course they could have, but I enjoyed it for what it was. The match itself, I enjoyed it for what it was. Yes, the Oscar winning was predictable. I was happy to see. You know what I enjoyed it more for? The surprises. That's what I could say. The fact that I got to see Lita and Trish go against the young girls, and see Kyrie and Ember come up and tangle with the main roster girls and the legends. I was fine with that. For reasons like that, I was like, cool. Okay, that's some of the things that you see in the Rumble that it's like, yeah, that's why people liked it, was to see old faces against the new faces. That's the main reason why people liked the match. But it's not to say that if you give them something different, yeah, people would prefer it. It's just more of, okay, well, we're just gonna fucking accept for what it is because it's WWE, and WWE's making it into a PR thing. So
see, the thing is, you can't do that. You can't do a Royal Rumble type match without, I don't know, coming up with some new. You can do the old faces versus the new faces kind of shtick, but you can't come up with a slight variation of, it's not just. It's just not, like I just said, it's not just a baby down version of the Royal Rumble. Like have it be something brand new and something I want to see, rather than just, hey, you just watch this match type. Well, no, let's see it again, but worse.
I just think a Rumble with pinfalls and submissions would be ideal for them to do. I don't know. I think there'll be.
You know what? They have fucking writers. They pay millions of dollars to these fucking writers. You telling me they can't come up with a good idea?
Because they never had a stipulation like this on Psych, or any other of the crappy shows on USA. That's what That's what they have, right? They have the writers from fucking Psych and NCIS there.
God.
That's what it is. They have to. Oh man, we were produced a fucking 5.2 rating that one week. Oh my god, we need to bring them in. Oh well, okay. So what did you do on your show? Well, we had this woman. She had she had dramas with her man. Stephanie comes in. Well, we're associated with this women's organization, so we can't do that. Okay, what's next? All right, and then all right, so this one person died. Oh, we can't do death on this show. Yeah, it went over like a wet fart when my husband did it with that mannequin, so we can't do that. Like it's pretty much what it boils down to is there's too much fucking political nonsense wrapped in the WWE, and that's what infuriates me more is I shouldn't have to fucking think about politics watching a wrestling show. That's what bothers me more about this company than just the actual, the content of it. Because the content of it comes back to the politics. They do things because it's a political move. And why the fuck should we be thinking about fucking politics on an entertainment show? Walking Dead can outright kill people on fucking AMC. Fucking Arrow and Flash can kill people on network television that'll be on the fucking CW network. But USA Network, which is a channel that you have to fucking actually have to have cable, and a network that you have to pay for directly to WWE, we can't do this because of political sponsors and all of that. Who are these political sponsors?
Because they're a multinational corporation. And when they became a globalized corporation,
publicly traded.
They have too many people. They don't give a fuck about us. They care about the shareholders. It's the shareholders. The shareholders are the ones that really tell them what to do. Everything else is just bullshit.
And that's why I don't have faith that Triple H will have full creative control when WWE is in his hands. It's gonna fall into fucking Stephanie's hands, and then he's gonna have too many people behind him telling him, you can't do this, you can't do this stiff. Alright, that match was too stiff, you can't do that, you gotta tone it down a little bit. It's too fucking much. Like, you have people that go into supermarkets and fucking Walmart that get fucking butthurt and call WWE and complain about something that says bootios. We can't get away with saying something that says bootios anymore. If you notice, that's why New Day strayed away from it, because they can't say that because too many people are fucking butthurt about it. We're in too much of a PC fucking environment and too much of a fucking SJW environment that it falls into something that WWE goes, we have to fucking appease our shareholders because they're fucking, they're within this fucking PC system, this politically correct system, and it's ridiculous.
See, some political correctness is okay. Certain things about if you're being a racist asshole and you're saying really fucked up or sexist things, I understand it. But when you go too far and everything is gone to the point where basically you're like a fascist, where you're basically telling people what they can and can't say, then I have a problem. Then I have a fucking problem. Because it's gone to the point where now everything has gone to the point where you can't say a fucking word without some kind of backlash. You could say something completely meaningless and no one gets upset. And someone will manufacture some kind of hidden meaning behind it so they can pretend to be upset about some bullshit thing that no one else fucking cares about. And you see it, and this is the same problem that I have with pretty much everything. Now it's gotten to the point where this fucking internal feud between the I like to call them feminazis, and the fucking and the politically correct police.
God damn.
No, they are. There are feminists, and then there's feminazis. There's people that actually give about female rights, and then there's the ones that I can't have any form of male enticement or any type of like female. Look, you can't have any form of female attraction, male female attraction without someone getting pissed off. Oh, she's in a bikini. She's being she's being turned into objectified. She's being turned into a sex object. She's in a fucking bikini. Let it go. She's not going around stripping. She's in a fucking bikini. She's in an advertisement. Of course men are gonna find it attractive. It's
in fucking genetics that go back. Yeah.
But there are women that get pissed off about it because for whatever reason they feel that men are and yes, that sometimes men do objectify women.
Oh, embrace yourself because I'm gonna.
It is bad. No, I know I'm the heel. Majority of the show, I say fucked up things. I'm shooting right now. I'm saying yes, women are objectified. Sometimes they're not. And we've gotten to the point that now we can't. People get pissed off and say these retarded things, and then when they say something, all the fucking misogynistic morons basically pull everybody into the same group. So you have people that are like, you can't say anything because it's racist and homophobic and sexist, and then you have the complete opposite of them on the other side, and they're like, well, we want to say all the homophobic, racist, and sexist things because we're assholes. And you have those two groups fighting, and they're the ones shaping all the policy because they're both psychos, and we're the ones that get stuck in the middle. Everyone else gets dragged down and gets dragged into the fight because of these two idiots, and you only see them on the internet. Oh, well, she's an SJW because she thought it was inappropriate because I called her a fucking cunt. Yeah, it is inappropriate. You probably shouldn't be calling her a fucking cunt. Look, you probably shouldn't. You probably should. And maybe she was, but there's certain things you shouldn't say.
If you call someone a cunt, yeah, it's understood that they get pissed off. But if you compliment someone on saying, "Oh, you look great," or whatever, you look good, your body looks good or whatever, are you objectifying me? Yeah, that's a form of maybe she's an SJW. Maybe that's if they turn it around into an assumption. All right, here's the best way to explain what an SJW is. They're a fucking assumption artist. They pretty much have the idea of, oh, I'm gonna jump to the conclusion right away because I know most men are like this. 99.9% of the men I deal with, there's no room for fucking a nice guy in the world. Every guy is a fucking misogynistic asshole.
The problem with that is it's reverse sexism because they're making the assumption that we're going to objectify.
Oh, you mean to tell me reverse sexism is a thing?
I could say, look, I could say something, and they could flip out, and I could just say, and they might not even know. Might be some random person who just randomly says it because they're a man. Oh, well, you're sexist. Okay, but I'm gay. I don't objectify women because I find women attractive. If that could be a situation, and that still won't be diffused because then they'll come up with some kind of new bullshit to classify it. But then when they go off, and then this is the thing. This is the problem. Because when they go off, the fucking idiots that are so left that they can only think about the most minute bullshit things about their civil liberties and what they need. They don't give a fuck about the rest of. They don't give a fuck about other women. They care about their bullshit pansexual liberties of wanting to fuck a bucket because the bucket is the only person that gets them, and the rest of women they don't give two flying fucks about because they allow themselves to be controlled by the male patriarchy, and then you got that one side, and then you got the guys on the opposite side. They're in the fucking Midwest, where living with Bubby. Bubby's like hiding for his life because he doesn't want to deal with these fucking rednecks, and they're the complete opposites. They're the ones that are like, well, we don't like them women. We beat the shit out of them, and we think they should be in the kitchen making us sandwiches. So you know what? You have them both dictating, and they're the ones that are always fighting on the fucking internet. And you can't go on a goddamn website. You can't watch anything. You can't communicate with people on fucking streams or YouTube or anything anymore because they're both morons. And apparently, the morons that make up the minority fucking piss off everybody, and they trigger a fucking mass domino effect of people choosing a fucking side, even though both sides are fucking stupid. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to be racist towards other people. If I see something fucked up, yeah, tell me I'm fucked up. I'll change. I'll apologize or make sure I don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
If I objectify a woman by saying something slightly sexist or offensive, same thing. Don't turn me into a don't turn your bullshit war against each other when we should just put you in a fucking Royal Rumble with chainsaws and just watch that. Because that would be fucking entertaining. It'd be more entertaining than this bullshit pay-per-view. And I can tell you one thing. Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, whatever McMahons, you can go fuck yourself because Bonesaw said so.
Well said. And with that, look, I'm happy Ronda Rousey's in WWE. I understand that she's a huge fan. I thought it was cool that Colton, who's Roddy Piper's kid, came down all the way from Vegas just to give her Piper's jacket because, you know, it's something that meant a lot to her since Piper meant a lot to her in her UFC career. So, you know, for the Mark side of it, it was cool to see. I did think she did point a lot, like a lot of people were saying. She pointed to the sign way too fucking much. She was a little too smiley for a girl that's supposed to be a badass. And also, too, she should have took the jacket off. And again, I know right away, oh, what are you trying to objectify her? You want to stare? Well, wasn't she just in fucking Sports Illustrated as like one of the sexiest athletes? You know what I mean? Like, why not fucking just act on it? I'm sorry. It's like, all I'm asking is just take the oversized jacket off and, you know, pretend to act physical. Show that you have fucking muscles. Show that you can kick ass. Show that you're physically intimidating, because you are. And
what's going to happen.
And then UFC fans, too, they want to shit on this.
We both know what's going to happen with Rousey. They're going to... And this is the same thing I said.
Yeah. I think they should have took their time, but you and Earls called it that they were going to rush this.
Rousey in WWE is like a teenage 15-year-old fucking virgin. WWE is that fucking 15-year-old virgin that is just has a naked girl on his fucking bed. He jumps in, pounds at it, and in 10 seconds he blows his load. That's what WWE is. They have a storyline. They have a story set that could be stretched out for over a year. make a ton of fucking money, but you know what? They're gonna blow their load on WrestleMania, and then that's it. That's it. You have all this storyline potential. You have all this talent. You're gonna blow your load in 10 seconds, and everyone's gonna be disappointed. Because
Yeah.
disappointment and blown loads is what WWE is known for.
Yeah. I as a pay-per-view, I give this a fucking like a D-.
I give it an F. I give it a fucking F. I've never been more insulted by a pay-per-view. I've never been more insulted.
Yeah,
just my intelligence, the fact that they try to be political about this, and the fact that this was like a literal attack on not only the talent but on the intelligence of the fan. Fuck you, WWE. I'm very close to just cancel. Other than NXT being fantastic, I am very close to canceling my fucking subscription. I've never been more insulted. I've never been more insulted. The fact I had to for this year I've dealt with what I would consider a very fucking good Wrestle Kingdom and a good NXT takeover, which actually both were great. I'm not even going to just say good, great.
Yeah,
and it's like,
would you cancel your network subscription at the idea of not having NXT?
But the fact is how insulted I was for this pay-per-view, and the fact that I'm giving them money to just keep doing it over and over again.
Yeah.
I'm insulted because as good as the you know what? It wasn't even really a good Royal Rumble. They had a couple good. They had a couple good. They had a couple good. Surprises. But for the most part, like I said, it's like last year I shit myself, but now this year I just pissed myself. What the fuck is the difference? What is the difference? You literally you fucked up WWE. I really don't not excited for WrestleMania at all. I'm actually, more than anything, it pissed me off. This whole thing pissed me off. I just feel insulted. I feel irritated about just how they feel about the fans, how they feel about the people that work for them. Because not only do they show disregard for us, and they feel disregard for their talent, but just the utter disdain, that you can feel coming from them, just the absolute hatred for certain talent. If you did not have NXT, I would cancel the network in a heartbeat. I thought it was a fucking terrible pay-per-view. I'm insulted by it, and I think I really hope WrestleMania is good, because if it just turns into another clusterfuck like this, I don't want to watch it, and I will cancel my subscription. I will just stick to Ring of Honor, and I will stick to New Japan, because you know what? They actually respect my fucking intelligence. They actually respect all of our intelligence. And at least they're a good product. Y'all done fucked up again.
Oh, fuck audio. Damn it. Yeah, there you go. Alright. Let's see. Sorry about that, folks. I don't know what the fuck keeps happening here. But yeah, Ring of Honor, dude, it's like the TV show, it sometimes is not good. But, you know, it's hit or miss. I don't know. It's definitely, you know, it's 1 hour show. Sometimes you get really good matches. Sometimes, you know, like, there's characters you don't care for. But, you know, it's fine. You know, wrestling in 2018 is sometimes far from perfect. It really is. But, you know, it at least in Japan, Ring of Honor, you have more ups in it. And NXT, too. I feel like NXT is definitely on the upswing of things, but it's like, if it could distance itself a little further from WWE, the main roster, that would be great, too. You know? It's just, I don't know, man. Raw and SmackDown, you know, it's by far, they have a lot of fucking problems. And, you know, and last night was just an okay fucking the mediocre show. Now the Chamber, they already have Braun, Elias, and John Cena. Cena beat Finn clean, which isn't a problem in itself. And a girl like Sasha Banks, she's just completely fucking. I'm starting to get really annoyed by Sasha Banks. I really am, and I loved this girl like a year ago. Now it's just like just so much that's just annoying me about her. It's just it seems like this is she comes out. Michael Cole says the stupid catchphrase that makes no sense. It's boss time, and then her promos are the same. When I was a little girl, I dreamt of moments like this, and then she closes her eyes because she has no fucking conviction to her character, and looks up in the sky and goes, "We made history once again, da 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 da." And then she comes out, fucking tries to challenge Asuka. "I want to wrestle you." It's like, her promos are fucking cringeworthy, and then, you know, her in the ring, it's like, you see one Sasha match now, you've seen them all. I don't know, she's not really standing out anymore. Like, the most impressive thing out of the match between those two was
almost
that fact
like
that
they take your heroes and make you hate them.
The only exciting thing was Sasha decided to do a crossbody out to the floor, and then Asuka just kicks her in midair, and then people thought, "Oh shit, there goes a concussion."
I'm kind of done. I kind of don't want to talk about WWE anymore.
You want to talk about the XFL? we have to mention that.
We'll do this another time. I'm
You're burnt out. I know.
I'm burnt the fuck out.
Yeah, we'll probably talk about that next week, the XFL. Because by all means, it's still topical because it'll come back in 2 years. So don't worry, folks. We'll have to probably talk about that next week.
And I hope it fucking bankrupts them.
Well, before we go, we will mention this, which is obviously not WWE news. Where do we see the future for Kenny Omega within the Bullet Club? Because a lot of people are suspecting that they're going to separate into different groups.
I think they might just end up doing the Wolfpack and NWO thing. The Hollywood Wolfpack.
Why can't it just be the regular Bullet Club and then the Elite? Why
they
can't
can
it
do
just
that
be
too. They're talking about the name that they had for Kenny Kotobushi and the Young Bucks was the Golden Elite.
Oh, that's fine with me. That's a fucking tremendous name. The Golden Elite. I love it. I'm totally fine with that. But I just wonder, because what happens to the Being the Elite series? Because that's all the Bucks. That would pretty much just go to Kota, Kenny, and the other, and Nick. You know,
I got a feeling that they're going to challenge they're gonna challenge Cody for the control of Bullet Club. It's just gonna be a civil war. They might not even call themselves. They might not even change the name. They're just gonna call themselves Bullet Club, and then just eventually challenge for control of it. Because you could tell one, Marty was conflicted about the whole situation.
Dude, Marty,
he was the one like trying to tell.
Hysterical. Marty was legitimately acting like a child that like didn't want his parents to get divorced.
Yeah.
He was fucking hysterical during all of this. And Hangman, by the way, I'm actually really like he's becoming one of my favorites. That like I considered him part of the B team like during the majority of 2016. Well, pretty much all of 2016, and then a good part of 2017. He's really like stepped the fuck up, and you know,
yeah,
and another guy too.
Some of his work has gotten better. His personality is really shining through. I think they've done a good job at like showing he's not a B team member. He's the real deal. He's part of the A team.
Nah, he's definitely part of the fucking A team now. And you know what? Another guy that's stepping up that he's supposed to challenge, Jay White. You know, I proved.
I did not see Jay White beating. I
had a feeling. I had a feeling. You know what? I really was happy for him because I was happy that he had a great match because I knew it wasn't his fault. It was Tanahashi. Tanahashi's hurt.
So yeah, because that was why Suzuki got the Intercontinental belt off of him.
I'm glad, dude.
It's good. It sets up. It gives Suzuki his heat back. It sets up a feud between them when Tanahashi's back. So that means that basically means that Suzuki's going to hold the belt as long as Tanahashi's hurt.
I really enjoyed his promo. Can I say some of the words that Suzuki said in his promo after the match? Well, it's him in Japanese. It's him speaking Japanese, so that's why I'm gonna read the.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so it's Tanahashi. You know what? I'll play it as background noise, so people could hear it. But you won't be able to hear it, but it'll be on the recording. So it's just a little extra noise. So, okay, Tanahashi, you made this enjoyable. You keep whining that this and that hurts. Did you really think you could still beat me that way? Skip a little ahead. You were the miracle to bring New Japan back from the brink. But the miracle won't happen again. All that matters anymore is power. I'll destroy anyone who steps in my way. If you think about standing up again, if you even try it, I'll just break you again. Let's see. You better be prepared for that. I wish it was just fucking transcripted on writing. Yeah. Sapporo, New Japan Pro Wrestling fans. You stop clapping like a bunch of idiots. And to you guys talking ringside, you guys are going to talk about, oh gee, what a great match. But he said that's not how I see it. I see it as I have the treasure now. You guys treasure this Intercontinental title. It's now in my hands. Let's see. And you're the treasure, Tanahashi. Well, he'll never stand in this ring again. That's just how it is. And he goes, that's it, Tanahashi. Tell everyone how much it hurts. The sound of your knee and your ankle cracking under pressure. Crack, 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 crack. Break, break, break. Crunch, 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 crunch. You never heard anything like this. And then he just goes on to say Suzuki's Ichiban.
Oh my god.
Great
I
fucking
love
promo.
him.
It's simple.
He's amazing. He's a fucking treasure. He's a fucking treasure. No, the Intercontinental Belt isn't the treasure. He's the treasure. Oh god.
Oh, and by the way, did you see what did you do what I said when after Taichi's entrance, Iizuka's music hits?
Oh, I didn't get to see it yet.
Oh, dude. All right. Basically, Taichi's coming out and he's singing, and then the girl's there with him.
No, don't tell me. I want to see it.
I want you to watch it. But anyway, we're gonna wrap it up for this episode. Because this is the longest damn Thunder we've ever done, and rightfully so. You know, we went to NXT, we ran in about the Rumble, and we talked a little side things that happened this weekend. Because by all means, there's a lot of fucking wrestling, and that's not even including House of Hardcore. There was a lot to happen this weekend. It's way too much. Way too much wrestling. Way too much for me to fucking kind of handle. But yeah, anyway. Be sure to, subscribe to us on YouTube here. We'll be back next week, which will be February 6th. We'll be going live. You want to do 11:30 again?
Yeah, sure.
So we'll be back 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, AM. Maybe we'll get Bubby on. Who knows? Who knows?
There is no Bubby.
It's the season. Last week was the season finale of Bubby on KTR.
No, it's like Ghostbusters. Like, there is no Bubby. There's only Beach Ball.
Yeah, but yeah, KFadeTalkRadio.com. I'll go to Facebook.com/KFadeTalkRadio. Twitter.com. I'm on there at Eric the Red 211. You can chat with me there. J.R. Earl's art for all his art and nonsense. And then Mr. Bonesaw for all your gripes and complaints on the show.
Maybe you'll get some of mine.
With that said, till next week, keep it kayfabe, everybody.
Bitches!
No. Silly me.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of what you just heard, please go to KFadeTalkRadio.com, your official source for everything Kayfabe Talk Radio. You can find our links for iTunes, Stitcher, Facebook, which is Facebook.com/Kayfabe Talk Radio, and our YouTube page. Our YouTube page features all live streams of Kayfabe Talk Radio weekly episodes, AM Thunder, which is our pay-per-view review show, as well as custom-made montages of pro wrestlers, mostly from New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor. Till next time, keep it kayfabe.